Good evening and welcome inside RE/MAX Field down in the beautiful Edmonton River Valley, where the Edmonton Prospects will get set to complete their weekend set against the Brooks Bombers here down at RE/MAX Field. And for the Prospects, last night was another step in what's been a very tremendous start to their season. They put up 14 runs against the Bombers and improved their record to 3-1 on the season, 3-0 here at RE/MAX Field as well. For the Brooks Bombers, well, they've been living up to their name. They lead the league in both runs and hits. The offense has been coming, but the wins have not. They hold a record of just 1-4. This afternoon, they'll look to change their fortunes a little bit and grab their second win of the season, while the Prospects will look to stay undefeated on home field. To get things started, we send it up to our broadcast duo, John Belmont and Al Coates.
All right, thank you kindly, Tyler. Good afternoon, everybody. How do you do? And welcome to the matinee contest this afternoon. A scheduled 9-rounder, the Prospects and the Brooks Bombers. And the Prospects last night, John, played like prospects, not like suspects. They went to the wood pile early and often. Plated 14 runs in a collection of 14 hits, committed 2 errors, and left 6. On the mound, they got all they needed from the left-hander who started the game, Tanner Roundy, a 5-inning distance, 2 earned runs, 6 hits. And he scattered those hits, struck out 3 and did not walk a batter.
No, he did very well. Of course, he will be starting in center field today.
As far as the weather is concerned, it's a comfortable day. We might be hitting about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a slightly overcast but not threatening sky as we speak. There is no wind. We got a lengthy highlight package for you today. If you're a Bomber fan, it might be a low-life package, but let's take a look at it. The 14-3 victory last night. And the pitch. He got a nice swing at that one. That was a wild bat. That ball's got a chance and waved it goodbye. 2-run shot and home run number 1 for McCoy Pearson. He hit that one a ton. Airmails it over the wall in left field. That was just a hanger out over the plate.
And that's exactly right, Al. And, well, I don't know if it was a change-up or a curve, but it hung high and he popped it.
Knew it. He didn't even bother coming out of his crouch and making an attempt. There's a wild pitch, and a run's going to come in to score as Tanner Roundy crosses the plate. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Ball's belted out into the left field gap. That's got a little bit of carry on it. That ball's going to fall in. That'll be an extra base hit and a run batted in. Rounding second is Walker. He's on his way towards third. The throw to the cutoff man. The relay is not in time. And that's a run-scoring triple to the opposite field. There is that high kick of the pitch, and it's a wild pitch that'll bring in a run, and the Prospects take the lead. Second wild pitch tethered here by the pitcher, Matt Scott. Base is empty, 3 runs in. There's another ball belted out in the left field. He turned that one right around. Danny Donnelly is on the run back, and that one's a gunner. A solo shot, and the Prospects are up by a pair.
Again, Al, if we get the replay on this, I think he's throwing inside again, getting up in the zone to the right-handed hitters, and they're just jumping on it.
Now, not all of that on the fly, on the bounce, obviously. There's a ball that's belted back out into deep left field. He airmailed this one real nice, got all of it. That ball is not coming back. A 2-run shot is second of the day for Jake Geary.
Oh, he's having a game.
A 2-run bomb for the big catcher, number 22. Scott has got to be barreling in on about 100 pitches on the night. Might not be quite that many, but he's thrown a lot. This should do it. Bring in a run. Fly ball to deep right. Vargas makes the catch. Everybody moves up 90 feet. And the run in to score on a sacrifice fly for Roundy. No time at bat, and the run batted in. Got some speed in the 9 spot, a little bit of speed in the top of the order, and a lot of thunder in the middle. That's a fair ball. Hit down the left field line, kicked up a little chalk. It'll be at least a 2-base hit. And it will be a double, and a run batted in. First base side of the pitching rubber. Throws the pitch, and he's going to hit a batter and bring in a run.
Oh boy, he's hurt on this one.
Isn't he?
Yeah, he's hurting on this one.
Here comes the pitch to the Prospect shortstop. He takes a rip at it. Lifts the fly ball out into right field. That ball's not going to get caught. Albert Vargas had no chance on the ball. Here's Ramirez rounding second. He's going to pull into third with a 3-base hit and a run batted in. That ball had more carry to it than I thought it would when it left the bat.
It did for me too, Al. It just kept going.
Heading off, pulled a double down the left field line, would come around to score. And there the little guy's going to get his first hit as an Edmonton prospect, and he smokes it right through the box and up the middle. Third, Mondu is ready, and the ball is belted out into the left field gap. That ball is not going to get caught by the center fielder Perez coming over. One run comes in to score. 2 runs come in to score. Galloping 270 feet of base track is Travis Hunt with a well-hit ball. He kissed it into the left field gap for a 3-base hit.
That is triple.
All game at the 2-hour and 35-minute mark as we speak. Ground ball to the left side of the diamond. That will produce the 14th run of the ball game tonight. Scout on to Pierce. There's the pitch, and it's a bouncing ball to the left side of the diamond. This is Pratt on to Takahashu at second base. They get the out. A run will come in to score. And 2 left on base as the Prospects improve their record to 3 victories. Yeah, so there you have it. It looks like the Prospects had a lumber company last night en route to that 14-3 victory over the Brooks Bombers. Go down to the field of play now, and Tyler Remchuk with our pregame interviews.
A big win on a Saturday night here at home. Is the message today as you take on Brooks again to just not take them lightly?
Oh, exactly. They've got some players over there for sure. You know, we may have caught them on one of those days, and the cool thing about baseball is every day's a new day. It starts with the guy on the mound, so if their guy on the mound is pretty good, you know, we're in for a battle.
Every day is a new day, and you guys are playing baseball every day here over this stretch. Lots of games. Does that kind of change your approaches at all as a manager?
No, I don't think so. We've got some depth here. We feel confident with our depth. We think we've got a lot of guys that can help us. Yeah, a lot of games and a lot of days. There'll probably be some tired bodies, so we'll make some decisions as we go through this, maybe laying off some of the pregame work, but all systems go so far.
What a game last night for Jake Jerry. What can you say about what he's been bringing to your team, both behind the plate and at the plate?
Yeah, Jake's a leader. Jake's got a huge amount of talent, tremendous catcher behind the dish. Did a really good job in the balls in the dirt, which is an underrated characteristic of a catcher. Throws guys out. Guys are hesitant to run on the arm, and then obviously offensively, what he did yesterday speaks volumes to his ability.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you.
A tough loss last night. What's kind of the message to the guys after things really don't go your way in a night like that?
Yeah, it was tough. There's no way about that. But, I mean, it's a long season. There's 56 games. We're only 5 in so far. I know we have a tough schedule early. So, you know, just telling them to stay with the process and keep grinding. And, you know, we'll find our W's somewhere along the line.
The nice thing about baseball is that usually you're back at it again the next day. Is it nice that when you do kind of have a blowout loss like that, you can get right back at it the next day and just kind of put it behind you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome, especially, you know, coming out a day game after a night game. You know, hopefully our guys can respond a little bit better. It's the first time this summer that we're obviously experiencing that. So, you know, we're just going to tell them to keep at it. And, you know, we're still waiting on a couple guys. So once we get our full reinforcements here, I think we'll be okay.
You guys are first in the league in a couple of major offensive categories. Is it nice earlier in the year to kind of have the bats clicking like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think our park actually plays a little bit to that. So, you know, we don't hide behind that. We know we play in a small ballpark. So, you know, we're doing okay offensively. I think we can be a little bit better. But right now, you know, we're just going to kind of let that aspect of the game go, and we just got to get a little better on the mound. Nick
Garcia is getting the start today on the mound. What can you tell us about your pitcher today?
Yeah, Nick Garcia is a real guy. He's a senior out of Missouri Valley. You know, 3-pitch mix, you know, consistently in the strike zone. So we're pretty excited to have him this summer, and he's looking to bounce back. He actually pitched opening night for us. So he's going to be good today. We need him to be good, and we know he can be.
Thanks, Kyle.
No problem. Thank you.
Good afternoon again, everybody. About set to go with our matinee contest, the Brooks Bombers, who will end this 2-game series here today. And, of course, it's first part of a 5-game homestand. Okotoks Dogs in town tomorrow night for our makeup game. And then the defending Western Canada Baseball League champion Medicine Hat Mavericks will come to town. Here's the way the Bombers line up this afternoon. Leading it off in center field, it's Chris Perez. Batting second and playing in left field, Danny Donnelly. Hitting third, the first baseman, Carter Tronson. In the 4th spot today, the designated hitter is Pierce McCoy. Hitting fifth, the shortstop, Jake Scott. Batting sixth, he'll do the catching today, Spencer Rankin. Albert Vargas is the third baseman. Brian Kimbrough will strap him up in right field today, bat eighth. And hitting ninth, it's the second baseman, number 27, Dax Wandler. So there you have the starting lineup. Here for the Brooks Bombers today, the head coach, field manager is Kyle McKinnon. And pitching this afternoon for the Bombers, it'll be Nick Garcia. Garcia, number 30, up on the mound. Defensively, for the prospects today, Jake McDonald behind the plate on the corners, Walker at first, Pratt at third. Maskill is the shortstop, Ramirez at second base. Kyle Churchin is the left fielder, Tanner Roundy up in center field today, and Travis Hunt, 2 outfield assists earlier last week in a ball game, and showed me something. Got an excellent hose, real good pipe. He'll strap him up today and play in right field. And it'll be Hunter Boyd on the mound, making his second appearance on the year. Got a real nice earned run average, 1.80. Pitched to 5 inning distances last time out. His walk, hits, innings pitched metrics, 1.4. And he's got 4 strikeouts. A right-handed pitcher, looks about 6'2" on the mound. Throws John with a straight overhand delivery.
He does. He has a very good 2-seam fastball. He throws a 4-seam, excellent curve, and a good slider.
Ball game will get underway just about right on time at 2:06 Mountain Time today. The opening pitch, it's a bunt, a pretty good one up the first base line. The underhand throw to the bag is just in time. He can score that 1-3 on the putout. The right-handed pitcher, he's got an advantage. He's going to follow through towards the right.
Pretty good one up the first base
Real
line.
tough
The
chance was the left-handed pitcher, but you got
just
1 pitch and 1 away. That's a union inning.
That is, but Hunter Boyd really had to hustle on that. That ball was laid down exactly where it should have been.
Go to Danny Donnelly now, the left fielder. He's a right-handed batter. Ball games today in the league. The Fort McMurray Giants are in Okotoks to play the Dogs. Here's the windup by the big right-hander, and the pitch is a fastball and now the middle end of the plate, and it's a call strike. The Regina Red Sox are in Melville today. The Orkton Cardinals are in Moose Jaw, and Weyburn plays the 57s at the ballpark in Swift Current. Big slow deuce and a swing and a miss, bringing around to 0-2.
We can expect to see the slider here, breaking away from the right-handed hitter.
Fully back on the middle infield, deep at first, and the man at third, Pratt, works midway, just back of the bag at third base. The outfield of Kyle Churchin. In left field, Tanner Roundy in center. And Travis Hunt, the starting right fielder this afternoon. Down to 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Danny Donnelly. Hunter Boyd off the immediate first base side of the pitching slot throws that big slow curve, a swing and a miss. He started his man off hard and finished him off soft.
He sure did, and where I thought he would have gone low and away the earlier pitch, he ended up going inside with it and a fastball, and then he came with that beautiful breaking curveball on the outside.
And Carter Tronson is the batter up here for the Bombers. They've been a real compact ballpark, 370 feet up the middle. That's 50 foot shy of what they're seeing here in Edmonton today. But the prevailing wind is, and in southern Alberta, it blows pretty hard just about all the time, blows in. So that's obviously in favor of the pitching. Pitch is a breaking ball, and the count at strike 1. Here on Bring Your Dog to the Ballpark Day here at Remax Field. There's another curveball, nice spin, nice break on that hook, and it'll bring the count around to 0-2.
Hunter Boyd likes to start a lot of batters off with that curve.
Into his full windup, the overhand delivery, and the ball is hit up the middle. Should be an easy play. And that's a long, tall can of corn up the middle, and Tanner Roundy is there to make the catch. A 3 up, 3 down, top half of the first inning. He hit the ball where it was pitched. It was down Broadway, and a lazy fly ball out to retire the side.
Good half inning for Hunter Boyd.
Nothing across for the Bombers in the top half of the first inning, and you're watching Prospects Baseball and ICU video. This will be his second appearance on the year. He's got 4 1/3 innings under his belt. 4 hits. He's surrendered 5 runs, 3 of them earned. Walked 3 batters. He struck out 5. Logs an 0-1 record and an ERA at 6.23. Here's the pitch from Garcia, and he works his man low, ball 1. Tanner Roundy, the center fielder, the leadoff batter. Tyler Maskill will bat second, play at shortstop. Travis Hunt in right field hits third. And Nolan Walker today, the big first baseman, and he'll bat on the 4-hole. Hitting fifth, playing at third base, Jake Geary. No, he's the DH today. Javier Ramirez is the second baseman. Davis Pratt plays at third, hits seventh. There's the pitch on the way, and a fastball right around the label of the bat. Flared foul down the right side, now to play. Jake McDonald does the catching, and Kyler Churchin strap him up and play in left field this afternoon. Here's the pitch from Garcia. He threw a breaking ball off the outside half of the plate, and that'll bring the count around even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here on Tanner Roundy. Did a real nice job last night for the Prospects on the mound. Pitched the opening 5 innings, and he picked himself up a victory. At this level of baseball, Summer League wood bat ball, you have to get players that can play more than one position. Now, generally, when you're a kid, if you're the best player in the team, you become the pitcher. So quite often, you'll have had some pitching time in your career and find a different spot to play. There's a ball that's fisted out into short left field. Drifting in is Danny Donnelly, and he one-hands it on in, one away.
Gets him right in on the hands, and a lazy fly ball to left field.
Kyler Maskill will be the batter. Nick Garcia is from Moreno Valley, California, and attends college down in Missouri. There's a high hopper chop to the left side of the diamond. The shortstop Jake Scott there to grab it, and his throw is high. That's going to be an error on the throw. And the Prospects with a runner aboard. He didn't come over the top. He kind of sidearmed it, and when you do that, sometimes your ball's not on target.
The ball just flat out sails on him, like you say. It's put it right by the shoulder, went up over.
All right, an E6 will put the Prospects with a man aboard. Our first base runner of the afternoon. And Travis Hunt will be the batter up.
Now, Travis Hunt is from Moreno Valley, California, along with the pitcher, with Nick Garcia. They're probably buddies.
Here's the pitch, and it's a strike in the outside half of the plate, strike 1. Back with the last rendition of professional baseball we had here, the Oilers owned the club. They call them the Edmonton Capitals. They had a real nice team. They won the championship. And one of the young pitchers was working on an internet broadcast I was doing at the time, and he was from a place called Redding, California. Buck Martinez, the great broadcaster of the Blue Jays, is from Redding. Of course, a quarterback by the name of Ricky Ray. Played for the Eskimos, and this kid said, yeah, I threw a no-hitter one time, and I struck out Ricky Ray 3 times in Little League.
Oh, that's
on
something.
the stretch, here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's a fastball to the outside black. 0-2 the count, 1 out, 1 on here in the bottom half of the first inning. A really comfortable afternoon to play the game. About 70 degrees Fahrenheit, a hazy sky overhead. And don't forget, we've got a makeup game tomorrow night, 7:05 opening pitch, the Prospects and the Okotoks Dogs. Double play depth up in the middle infield. The outfield is around a little bit to the left. And there he maybe overthrew his fastball a little bit, just didn't intend to throw it for a strike. And that'll bring the count around to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tough night for the pitchers last night for the Bombers. They had a long night with all those runs scored, and the ball game got in at 2 hours and 47 minutes. The right-hander comes set, the runner goes, and the batter's going to get hit by a pitch. That's the hit 5th batsman that the Bombers have committed here in this series.
Seen a lot of them. Now there's a case, Nick Garcia hitting his buddy from Moreno, California. Maybe they're not so close.
Bring up Nolan Walker, the batter. Scores from last night. Weyburn defeated Swift Current 5-3. Moose Jaw walloped the Yorkton Cardinals 12-2. Regina 2, Melville no score. Didn't report the score from Okotoks, where the Fort McMurray Giants were playing. And the 2 Southern Alberta rivals, Medicine Hat, the defending champions, and Lethbridge hooked up. Yeah, Lethbridge must have been throwing the ball underhanded. They got walloped they walloped Medicine Hat, I should say, 18-4.
A lot of runs.
So Nick Garcia from the set position delivers. Nolan Walker checks his swing. They're going to appeal, and it'll be a no swing. Count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The umpires today calling the balls and strikes: John Oko, Andrew Higgins, the umpire at first base, and Brandon Oberg He's technically the third base umpire, but on a three-man crew, where you see him positioned is where the third base umpire is, just inside second base, just off to the left of the mound. There's the pitch and a hard ground ball up the first base side, fielded by Tronk and on to Scott, the shortstop. And the relay back is a double play ball. Man goes to third. As you see that double play getting turned.
Yeah, it's actually very good play by the first baseman to get it over the shortstop and back. Very quick play, well executed.
I just had my eye off the play. Did the first baseman go back to the bag, or was the pitcher covering?
No, he got back to the bag. First baseman got back to the bag. It's 2-1.
3-6-3 on the ground ball double play to set down the side, and you're tuned to Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. And it'll be McCoy Pierce to lead things off here in the second inning. Pierce, designated hitter, right-handed batter up there. Got a 1 ball and no strikes. Hunter Boyd draws a beat on the target, rocks into his windup, jams the batter with a fastball, fouled away. And the count of the ball on the strike. Here's the standings in the lead going into play today. Okotoks Dogs are 3 wins, no losses. They didn't report their ball game last night, so they're either 4-0 or 3-1. Here's the pitch, and it's inside. Prospects are 3 victories and a loss, 750 baseball. 1/2 game back of the leader on a 1-game win streak. And the 2-1 delivery. Ball hit out into right field. That's pretty much a room service fly ball. Drifting back is Travis Hunt. Hauls it on in. And right out of the starting blocks, a good afternoon for Hunter Boyd. 4 up, 4 down.
Good fastball. Good fastball low and away, and he popped her right out to Travis Hunt.
Medicine Hat Mavericks, 2 wins and a loss. The Lethbridge Bulls, after a slow start, have picked it up a little bit. They're 2 wins, 3 losses, and 1 game off 500. Off the head of the bat, and the ball flared foul up the right side. It's out of play. Fort McMurray Giants are 1-3. And this afternoon's opposition, the Brooks Bombers, 1 victory and 4 losses. Have you ever been down there? It's a nice little city on the Trans-Canada Highway, southeast of Calgary, en route to Medicine Hat. They've got a great junior hockey program there. They've had clubs that have won the Junior A Championship of Canada. I think they got to the big tournament again this year. There's the pitch, and a curveball is off the plate, ball 2. Over in the Saskatchewan division, the Regina Red Sox 3-1. In a tie with the Moose Jaw Miller Express for the lead. Playing 750 baseball. Didn't catch up to the fastball, hits a high fly ball into right field. And Travis Hunt there to make the catch, 2 away.
And again, the ball is on the outside of the plate. He stayed down on it, hit it away, got under it. An easy fly ball for Travis Hunt, the right fielder.
Millville Millionaires are 2-2. Swift Current 57s are 2-2, as are the Weyburn Beavers, 500 baseball records. And the Yorkton Cardinals yet to pick up a victory. They sit at 0-4. They got a neat thing going between Melville and Yorkton. On Canada Day, they'll play a day-night doubleheader. They'll play 1 game in Melville and the other one in Yorkton, because that's not a whole lot more than an hour's ride on the highway. There's the pitch and a high hopper up the middle. That'll be a base hit, and the first one of the ball game goes to Spencer Rankin. Didn't try to do too much with the pitch, just swung away. Nice level swing, and he bounces a single into center field to bring up Albert Vargas, and he's the third baseman.
Looked like a little bit of a curveball that didn't get a good break on it, and the batter just kept the wood right on the middle. Base hit.
Up in the big leagues today, lots of interleague play, and I really like that concept that they've done now. 3 or 4 times through the year. American League clubs will play the National League teams. If it's in a National League park, they'll bat the pitchers. If it's the other way around, you'll have the designated hitter. The Giants are in Baltimore. Twins are at Tampa Bay, Washington, and the Cincinnati Reds. 3 of the games that are on tap at the major leagues. Boyd is ready. Here comes the pitch, and it's a strike on the inner half of the plate. The Detroit Tigers are in Atlanta. Milwaukee is in Pittsburgh. The Cleveland Indians, the Cuyahoga Warriors, and they're playing today with the Chicago White Sox at the ballpark on the south side of Chicago. There's an overhand curveball that misses low. Cubs are in St. Louis. Kansas City's at Texas. The Blue Jays will try to avoid a sweep. the ballpark in Denver, Colorado. They lost 4-3 last night, did the Blue Jays. Houston at Oakland. The Angels are in Seattle. The Phillies play the Los Angeles Dodgers. They'll be getting underway right about now at Dodger Stadium. Minnesota Twins are in San Diego. I may make that the Miami Marlins in San Diego today. That beautiful new ballpark in San Diego. And the Boston Red Sox will play the Bronx Bombers. I would imagine that'll be the ESPN Sunday night game as they play the Yankees. Fastball foul to the backstop. Come into Jiffy Lube today for a Pennzoil fully synthetic oil change. No appointment necessary. Warranty approved. Earn Air Mile reward miles and a $100 travel credit. Details at jiffylubeservice.ca. Ball game about 15 minutes in here in the second inning. 2 out and a runner at first base. The infield is back. The pitch by Hunter Boyd is low. Go to ball 3. Boyd out of Moses Lake, Washington, attends the College of Idaho. Moses Lake is roughly halfway in that road that runs east to west through central Washington between Spokane and Seattle. John Oko has got a microscopic strike zone today as that pitch is a fastball away, ball 4.
In this at bat, he got up 0-2, then a slider just missed outside. His curveball just missed outside, and ended up getting to a 3-2 count, and he walks him.
Brian Kimbrough, the batter, the right fielder. As you see the Bombers today wearing a Dodger blue top with their gray trousers, not wearing a stirrup or a sock. There's a man advancing on to third base in a ball that was boxed by Jake McDonald. Had a little trouble with that. Will temporarily score that as a wild pitch.
That ball looked like it just skipped on him.
Was not able to field it cleanly. That's not a double steal. They did not run until the ball escaped the catcher's grasp. So we'll score that for a moment as a wild pitch. Now, if the runner was breaking, then he gets credit for the bag, but that did not happen. Bouncing ball to the shortstop, Maskill, on to first base, and it's irrelevant, doesn't matter. And here in the second inning, no runs and a hit. 2 men stranded. Bottom half of the second inning coming up on a scoreless draw. Our Sunday afternoon presentation of Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. Well, set to go here in the bottom half of the second inning. A menu of batters that will be faced by Nick Garcia, Jake Geary, the DH today, Javier Ramirez, the second baseman, and Davis Pratt, the third baseman. I'll tell you what, last night, Jake Geary, that bat of his was a magic wand, a solo shot, a liner over the wall in left field. In the first inning, he got a little more lift than the next one, just as equally hard hit into left center field, a 2-run bomb. Smoked the double down the left field line. Ball was just fair. Kicked up a little chalk, but a fair ball it was, and he came around to score. He lined back to the mound. He did that in the 7th inning. And here he goes. He got out in front of the pitch. He hits it out of the ballpark, but he hits it crooked on a hanging changeup. Strike 1 to the batter, Jake Geary. He's got a loud bat.
He really gets that bat around. There's an old saying in baseball, the real good power hitters, they have slow hips and fast hands.
Here comes a 0-1, and the pitch is down the middle but low. A ball and a strike here to Jake Geary. The Okotoks Ball Club will be in town tomorrow night, a makeup game from the game that was called due to smoke last week. First time I ever remember that. Rain out lots of time. We even got snowed out once in Colorado Springs. It got snowed out here, as a matter of fact. But that was the first time, and I think that was a good call by the umpires. It was not a safe environment. These players are running hard, which means they're breathing deep, and you don't want to be breathing that kind of stuff. There's a rip at a curveball, and it brings the count at 1-2. We were in Colorado Springs. We left the motel about 10 in the morning. It was a nice sunny day for a 1 o'clock game. Right about 12 noon, a big dark cloud came overhead from the Colorado Rockies. Snowed. Had to wait the obligatory hour, as is the Coast League mandate, and the game was snowed out. Then, as we're sitting around, the guys are draining what the clubhouse man left for them, and you don't want to leave that. So now we're back on the bus by about 3:30, And now the sun is shining and it's 75 degrees. We get back to the motel and the snow is gone.
Yeah.
It snowed a foot and it just went away. Wind up in the 2-2 delivery, a straight changeup, a swing and a foul tip here to Jake Geary. It's a 5-game homestand on Tuesday and Wednesday. The Medicine Hat Mavericks have come in to town. They had a real nice ball club last year. Won the championship.
Jake fouled that last pitch off his left foot, and he's feeling it.
Greg Morrison is the owner and the general manager of the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Played 1 year for us here at professional baseball with the Edmonton Cracker Cats. He was out of Unity, Saskatchewan. He was drafted by the Dodgers in his rookie year in the Pioneer League. He won the Triple Crown. He led the league in home runs, he led in batting average, and he led in runs batted in. Mo could smoke the ball, I'll tell you that. Left-hand pull hitter. I do believe, I could be wrong, but the last time that occurred in the major leagues was Mickey Mantle in 1956.
Been a long time. It doesn't matter what the league you're in. If you're getting that, you are really accomplishing something. You think home runs, hits.
Well, of course, in 1982 here, Ron Kittle, he led the league in everything. Led the league with 50 home runs. He led the league with a 345 batting average, and he led the league with 145 runs batted in. Off the head of the bat, and a little Texas leaguer is going to fall in, and Jake Geary, he had a real nice at bat. He didn't have a whole lot that he could handle. Here he drags the bat head out a little bit and loops it out into short right field.
Now that was a real good at bat for Jake. A lot of pitches thrown, about 8 pitches thrown. And he kept fouling the ball off until he got something he could get in play.
Javier Ramirez will be the batter. He was 1 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI yesterday. Got a 3-base hit and 2 RBIs in the at bat where he did get a hit, and he really ripped it out into right. And pulled around that 270 feet of base track real nice, made 2 left turns and ended up at third base and eventually came around to score. He can motor when he gets into that big, wide, expansive base track between first and third. Some of those guys are like that. It takes a little time to get the speed up.
He's got real good speed, and he's built fairly low to the ground, so he can turn that base pretty quick.
Man on here in the bottom half of the second inning, a leadoff single for Jake Geary. Prospects went fairly quietly in the first inning. A fly ball, they had a man on base with an error, a hit batsman, and a ground ball double play took care of business. Garcia ready, here comes the pitch. There was a breaking ball to the outside corner, 1-2.
Jake Geary's taking a pretty good lead out here. He's getting pretty well right on the edge.
There's a sinker on the inside corner and a good pitch called strike, 1 away.
That's a very good pitch. Dropped it right on the corner.
Davis Pratt will be the batter.
Nick Garcia's got a pretty good move to first, Al. He's very quick with it. And twice now he's been very close to getting Jake Garcia.
Watching Pratt here because he does not stand right over the plate. His front of it is open a little bit, which he'll close off. But he got hit 3 times last night. And here he's going to get a fair ball. He sprays one down the left field line, fair by a couple of inches. That'll be at least a double. And it's going to be a ground rule double. The ball went into the bullpen, so he'll get 2 bases. And that's just a little bit of bad luck. That ball doesn't run into the pen. He's going to get a run batted in. That is one of the ground rule doubles here at this park. It's in the bullpen area and becomes a ground rule double.
Very good job by Davis on that sting. Down on the ball, hitting it away, getting the double.
So here in the bottom of 2, the Ducks are on the pond. 2 men in scoring position. 1 gone in the inning. A stretch here by Garcia, right off the first base side of the pitching slab. And a foul tip in the batter's box, strike 1. As I said, Pratt was twice awarded first base, being hit by a pitch. He was hit by a pitch on another occasion, his third time around, but the umpires claimed he did not try to get out of the way of the pitch, so they did not award him the base. That's in the rule book. You can do that. Pitch in the dirt. We go to 1 ball and 1 strike.
We had a number of hit batters last night, and of course, one, Clay Loringer, got himself hurt pretty good. He's walking with a pretty good limp today. His coach was telling him, you got to get that leg moving, at least absorb the shock.
There he turned the ball over and he missed down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. You're on Jake McDonald doing the catching this afternoon for the Prospects. Come into Jiffy Lube today for a Pennzoil fully synthetic oil change. No appointment necessary and is warranty approved. Here's the 2-1 delivery, high and in, ball 3. Earn air miles, reward miles, and a $100 travel credit. Details at jiffylubeservice.ca.
Three and one pitch. Al, what do you think he's going to be taking?
No.
You're right.
Just took me a second to ponder that question. I'll tell you this, it's 3 and 1. If it's a strike, he's going to take a rip at it.
You really want to, and that is a pitch you usually find your pitchers, the 3 and 1, 2 and 2, they will throw their best pitch in those instances that they are most comfortable with.
All right, here's the 3-2 delivery. Bouncing ball left side. The shortstop, Jake Scott, makes a nice fielding play, a backhanded pick. A run will come in to score and remains at second base, and it's a 1-0 ball game in favor of the Prospects. And Jake McDonald is awarded with a run batted in as we go to the 9-hole batter. Kyler Churchin, the left fielder.
Got a runner in scoring position still.
I like some of the approaches I see with the prospect batters and that they don't always pull the ball. There you saw an opposite field double. That's what we used to get forever we had AAA ball here. You had hitters who could pound the ball to the opposite field as hard as they could pull them. Those are those big, strong hitters that you see going to the major leagues.
And they would take that ball on the outside corner and drill it to the wall.
And there's the pitch. Ball is hit straight up the middle. It's a room service fly ball there for the center fielder, Chris Perez, and that will set down the side as the Prospects score 1 run, do it in a collection of 2 hits, and they leave a batter. Head down to the field of play. Tyler, your run check.
Hey guys, as Al mentioned earlier, today's Bark in the Park Day at RE/MAX Field. It's actually the first time the Prospects have pulled off an event like this. They had one planned a few years back, but it got rained out, and it's become a bit of a tradition all around minor league baseball. It started a couple decades ago down in the States, and the organization that has maybe mastered the event is actually the Chicago White Sox, who set the Guinness World Record for most dogs in attendance at an MLB game a few years ago with 1,122. Now, not as many are obviously here today, but still a lot, and they're having a good time. Petland's here as well, so the owners who did bring their furry friends were treated to a gift bag, some free water, some free treats as well. It seems like a great day at the ballpark, as it always is, but today the owners could bring their dogs down as well, and for the Prospects, they're already 3-0 in front of their hometown crowd, and today they're looking to improve to 4-0 as the crowd not only cheers them on, but barks them on as well.
All right, thank you very much. As is usually the case on Sunday afternoons, it's a late arriving crowd. There's probably double the amount of people in the seats now as we go to the 3rd inning, as there was when the ball game got underway at 2:07 Mountain Time this afternoon. So here in the 3rd inning, Dax Wandler, the second baseman, batting out of the 9-hole, will lead things off for the Bombers. Back to the major leagues for just a second. We look at the divisional leaders. In the American League East, I think this is going to be a nice run all the way. The Yankees have pulled ahead of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. They've won twice as many games as they've lost, 38-19 record. The D-Rays are 35-22. And the Boston Red Sox, the defending champions, they just haven't found their own way yet. They're 9.5 back. The Blue Jays, it's going to be a long year, 17.5 games off the mark. And the Orioles, going to be even longer year. They're 20.5 games back. And when you lose the wheels off your big league club, it's not, even with free agency, it at times can be a long process to get back where you want to be. And it starts where it should start, and that's with your minor leagues and your drafting. Dax Wandler, the second baseman, is the batter up. And the pitch to him is a breaking ball down the dish, but low. Ball 2, strike 1.
Throwing 2 breaking balls and 1 fastball. Fastball for a strike.
Hunter Boyd ready to go. Right-hand pitcher out of Moses Lake, Washington. I remember going through there. There's a big sign that says Moses Lake, Washington, the winter wheat capital of the world. And if it's on the sign, it must be real.
Oh, winter wheat in that whole area is big.
On a half swing, there's a ball coming back foul off to the right-hand side. Over in a delegation of, if you can see them there, wearing a camouflage uniform, and those are members of the British Army. I don't know any of those gentlemen, but I've met a few guys from the British Army, and you wouldn't mess with them with an axe and a 10-foot head start. You're talking about some tough dudes over there. There's a curveball that is swing and a miss.
He took a lot off that curve, too. Yeah, that was a very good pitch.
Chris Perez, the center fielder, will be the batter. Danny Donnelly also due up in the inning. They're fully back on the middle infield, midway on the corners. And the outfield is straight away at Remax Field. The pitch, ground ball left side. Maskill dives to his left, can't put leather on it, and that'll be a 1-out single.
A well-hit ball, and as we've talked about before, you get a hard ground ball on this turf, it speeds up.
Over in the American League Central, the Twins, after a couple of years in the wilderness, have found their way. They got a nice ball club this year. 21 games better than 500. Ruling the roost in the Central Division, a 12-1/2 game lead over the mighty Warriors of the Cuyahoga, the Cleveland Indians. Nice. Chicago White Sox are 12.5 back, 15 back, the Detroit Tigers, so the Bengals not having a good year. And the Kansas City Royals are 20.5 games back. And we're just entering the 3rd month of the big league season. Breaking pitch taken for a strike, 0-1 on Danny Donnelly. Struck out swinging his first time through. Defensively, Pratt at third, Walker at first, Maskill the shortstop today, Ramirez at second base, throw on to first, slap tag down, runners back. Kyle Churchill in left field, Tanner Roundy in center, and Travis Hunt will complete the picket line out in right. Stretch by Boyd, here comes the pitch. Throws a low fastball to the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. And in the Eastern Division of the American League, an 8-game lead for the Houston Astros at 39-20. Anthony John Hinch, a one-time Edmonton Trapper catcher. He's done a beautiful job with that club, winning a World Series title a couple of seasons back. He's got a solid team. And he is now enjoying an 8-game lead on the Texas Rangers. The A's are 9.5 back. The Angels are 10 games back. Despite they've got one of the best players in the game for years now, Trout. He's a 2019 version of Mickey Mantle, same body type. Bouncing ball that got the third baseman back on his heels, Pratt, but he stays with it. That's not an easy play. He's not throwing from his toes, he's throwing from his heels.
Hey, watch this. This is a very tough play, as you say, Al. It's right down the line. And when you watch, he's right on the line, and that is a long throw. And
well, as long as you can make it, it's right across the diamond, deep at third, right to the bag at first base. He didn't play it into a bad hop. That's just the hand he was dealt. Carter Tronkin will be the batter up, man in scoring position. It's a 1-0 ball game, Prospects lead. We're in the top half of the 3rd inning. There's the pitch, and it's a breaking ball low from Hunter Boyd.
Hunter Boyd likes to start an awful lot of batters off with that curveball. He's got a good one.
Boyd ready. Here comes the pitch. Ball pulled to the left side of the diamond. And it is fielded by Maskill in the shortstop's hole. The throw is in the dirt. Walker is there to dig it out of the dirt. A couple of nice plays by the Prospect infield and 2 ground balls to set down the side. Here in the third, no runs and a hit, and a man stranded. 2.5 innings in the books, and a 1-0 Prospect lead. And this is Edmonton Prospects baseball on ICU video. Top of the order here in the bottom of 3, 1-0 Prospects lead. Tanner Roundy is the batter up. Roundy swings at a pitch, pulls it wide of third base, fielded on a short hop nicely by Vargas, playing way wide of the bag, and he comes up throwing a strike, and you've got 1 pitch and 1 away. Tyler Maskill will be the batter. He reached base on an error. Back in the first inning. Okotoks Dogs here tomorrow night for a 7:05 contest. And the defending league champion Medicine Hat Mavericks Tuesday and Wednesday. There's a drag bunt. The only place to see if it runs foul, and it does. And it's a strike 1 count on Tyler Maskill. And his third baseman playing fairly deep. That's not a bad call.
It's actually an excellent bunt.
Little drag bunt.
Just got a little too much English on it. Took her over the line.
Now on a natural grass infield, and I've seen it happen where, let's say you got a lot of front end speed and bunters, the manager will try to get the baseline beveled.
They'll bevel it, or sometimes on the old ones where you have the infield grass, it'd be a little higher infield grass to hold it.
Pitch is hit in the air, straight up the middle, drifting back, and onto his right is Perez. There to make the catch, and you got 2 away. Way better pitching this afternoon for the Bombers. Now this guy Garcia is pitching ahead in the count and throwing strikes.
And that's the key. It's what every pitching coach wants. You throw strikes, let your players behind you make plays.
Now really, as an example, you've got a runner on base, runner at first, and you want to stay out of a double play. It all starts on the mound, and it's the pitcher. He's got to pitch ahead in the count. Far more difficult to hit and run or straight steal when the pitcher's in ahead in the count. Way easier when he's behind in the count. Breaking pitch down and away to Travis Hunt. 1 ball and no strikes. Got hit by a pitch and picked up in the front end of a ground ball double play. His first time through. Sharp breaking ball is in there for a strike. 1-1.
And again, I'm sure that he knows them pretty well. It's both from Moreno Valley, California.
And here's the 1-1 pitch to him. Pulls the ball fair at third base. Fielded deep by Vargas. Strong throw across the diamond. And he's going to get a 5-3 put out to set down the side. Got him just by an eyelash on a nice play on both sides of the infield. Good pick by Vargas at third base. As the Prospects go quietly here in the third, we got the 4th inning coming up momentarily. This is Prospects Baseball on ICU video. Pierce is the batter up as we get this 4th inning underway. It's a good one today. Ball game moving right along, about 45 minutes in. Pitches a big slow curve, a swing and a miss. Strike 1 to McCoy Pierce, the designated hitter. Give the ball a ride his first time through, flew out to right field. And here's the wind and the delivery. A knee buckling breaking ball on the inside half of the plate. If he swings at that, he doesn't get anything. Hunter Boyd pitching in his 4th inning today. Got a lot of ground ball outs. And the 0-2 pitch, he runs a sinking fastball in. 2 strikeouts on the afternoon.
His breaking ball really seems to be working well today, Al.
He's got 4 ground ball outs. Any balls hit in the air have not been hit with authority. Done a nice job. McCoy Pierce batting in the cleanup spot. Jake Scott and Spencer Rankin. It's the middle 3 of the order. 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ball lifted in the air to left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. And a leadoff single to McCoy Pierce. That brings up Jake Scott.
The inside of the plate, and he didn't get that to break well, and just popped it out to left field for a base hit.
Other games today in the Western Canada Baseball League. The Fort McMurray Giants are in Okotoks. Regina Red Sox will play the Millionaires in Melville. Yorkton Cardinals are at Moose Jaw, and Weyburn playing in Swift Current. Short in the middle infield up, put him at a double play depth. The ball's popped up right by the mound, and calling the pitcher off is Pratt, the third baseman. and right on the slope of the mound, which makes that a more difficult play. He's not on level ground, but that is the proper call. The infielder should call the pitcher off. Technically, the pitcher is an infielder once the pitch is made, but quite often you'll just do what he did right there.
Well,
found his footing, made the catch.
And he's got the angle where the pitcher doesn't. That's why it's always the right thing to call off the pitcher, get him out of there.
Now with a runner at first, it's just a play. If there's a runner at first and second on that play, the umpire will indicate the infield fly rule. In other words, the batter is out and the runners advance at their own risk. Don't often see the infield fly. Very seldom does that situation come up. 1 ball, no strike to Spencer Rankin. For the infield fly rule to be called, it has to be hit in the air. Runners at first and second, or first, second, and third. And it has to be hit in fair territory. There's a looper up the middle for a base hit, and Spencer Rankin is aboard. Tying run in scoring position.
On the replay, again, it's that breaking ball. He jumped on it. Good base hit.
1 base on ball issue this afternoon by Hunter Boyd, and it's been to the batter coming up, Albert Vargas, the third baseman here for the Brooks Bombers. From the stretch, here's the pitch, and a fastball misses a little high. 1 ball and no strikes to Vargas. Ryan Kimbrough, the right fielder, the on-deck circle as you get a look from that outstanding center field camera. That's got great zoom on it. Don't get a much better picture on a major league telecast. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Breaking pitch is fouled to the backstop. Prospects today wearing their home whites, the black stirrup and the gold trim. The Bombers in their road gray trousers, their Dodger blue top, and red trim. There's the pitch and a ground ball down to third base, fielded on 2 outs by Pratt. Pratt on to Ramirez at second. Runner did a nice job of eliminating the double play, went in like a bowling ball on a 10-pin. So you'll have runners at the corners with 2 away.
Good play by Pratt. Get it over when he did. It's a long throw to turn the double from that position.
Brian Kimbrough, the batter, bounced out to retire the side in the second inning. Tying run now 90 feet from the promised land. Boyd comes set and delivers. Nice spin on that breaking ball. A nice deuce in there for a called first strike. Boyd ready. Here comes the pitch. Pulled the string on another curveball. There he took a little off the pitch. Usually the looser the grip, the bigger the looser the spin, or the looser the grip, the looser the spin, and that just means the bigger the break.
And like you
the
said,
bigger the break, the slower the curve. That's how it works.
And with that, he likes to change that speed on it. It's a good thing to do.
He's going to waste the pitch down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Bring Your Dog to the Ballpark Day. Back way back in the old American League ballpark in Philadelphia, Connie Mack Stadium, when the team used to go on the road, Connie Mack, because it'd save a few bucks not using a lawnmower, actually used to bring goats out into the field to eat the grass. There's a breaking pitch, foul tipped and held by the catcher McDonald, a strikeout. His third on the afternoon, gets himself out of the soup real nice. Here in the 4th inning, no runs and a pair of hits, no errors, 2 men stranded as we motor along to the bottom half of the 4th inning. And this is Prospects Baseball from Remax Field and ICU Video. Nolan Walker leads things off here in the 4th inning. Walker bounced into a double play his first time through, takes a rip at a pitch, hits it off the high end of the bat. It's a ball that's going to get gapped and it's going to go on to the warning track, and that'll be a leadoff double. 2-timer to the opposite field for Nolan Walker. Didn't get real good wood on it, but he found a hole in the left field power alley and a leadoff double to get it going here in the last of 4.
And it's interesting because he went away, and yet that was an inside pitch. He opened his hips pretty quick, and the bat came through a little late and had the power to get through the gap.
Jake Geary, the batter, up. He was worth the price of admission last night. 2 home runs, a double. Got the first hit of the ball game. He stroked a single out into right field, came around to score on a ground ball out. So the Prospects' potential second run is in scoring position. And the pitch is a breaking ball low and away, 1 ball and no strikes. The Bombers will be on the run home after this ball game, as they say in the minor leagues. They'll be on the airplane with no wings and a 300-mile runway. Pitch low and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Nothing but the best, too. I noticed it looks to me like it's a Brooks City or Brooks County school bus. I tell you, that 300 miles is going to seem awful long. You're going to have a sore back when it's done. Pitch is low, go to ball 3.
Raymond High School had done that for years and years. Drive those old Bluebird buses, and their teams would go all the way north, and they'd sit on those things. Those are pretty hard seats, Al.
I remember when I was a kid and calling junior hockey when I started, and we had those old buses that were made in Winnipeg. I just forget the name of them. They had a snub nose on them, and the engine is not like today where it's in the back. It was actually right beside the bus driver. And you couldn't hear, and you breathed in gas. Javier Ramirez, the batter. He was called out on strikes his first time through. Nick Garcia now working through the Prospects order through the second time. If you get through the order 2 times in real good shape, you got pretty good stuff going that day. Runners aboard, Geary at first. Nolan Walker takes his lead off second. And here, Nick Garcia will step off the rubber, look his man back. You can do that. You don't have to complete a throw to second or third base. You have to throw to first. You cannot do that. And obviously, you have to throw the pitch to the plate. And the pitch is a fastball that is going to nip. Javier Ramirez didn't even touch his body. Probably just took a piece of his uniform, just nicked it. But it's a hit batsman, loads the bases.
Just got enough of them. Got the sleeve.
Well, let's see if this sets the table for a big inning for the Prospects. Nobody out, bases loaded. Left-handed batter to face the right-handed pitcher. That means the breaking ball is going to break into you, and it makes it just a little bit easier to connect. That's the beauty of a switch hitter. The ball is always breaking into you. There's a line drive to Jake Scott. He knocks it down, picks it up. Run will come in to score. And on to third goes Jake Geary. Nolan Walker scores. Ramirez is out on the force at second, 6-4. And the fielder's choice run batted in. Here for Davis Pratt.
That was
probably
a
a
shot.
catchable ball. He put leather
You
on
would
it.
think so. He had leather on it, but didn't squeeze it. But it was a shot.
So that won't be a hit for the batter, and it won't be an error for the shortstop as an out is made. They'll keep the middle infield at a double play depth. And Jake McDonald, the batter up, big catcher, big strapping batter, right-handed hitter. Deep knee bend, front foot slightly open. A runner goes, throw to second is a day late and a dollar short. Delayed steal puts Davis Pratt into scoring position.
And on the replay, you'll see, again, the aggressiveness of the Prospects. Ball's down and out, and the catcher hesitated. But that's been a sign we've seen this whole season, Al, is how aggressive the Prospects are on the base pass.
And on that play, that's not necessarily the fault of the catcher. Maybe the middle infielders are late breaking to the bag. He can't throw to a target with nobody there to catch it.
You're exactly right.
Break-in pitch, swung on, missed. Strike 2 to the batter, Jake McDonald. Batting out of the 8-hole in the lineup today, Kyler Churchin. The left fielder is also do it. Now they're going to play the infield, not quite up, but just about. And here's the pitch and a hard ground ball to the right-handed side. They won't have a play at home plate. And Wansler throws on to first base, 4-3 on the putout. And Jake Geary comes in to score. Davis Pratt motors down 90 feet, and he's at third with 2 away. I don't blame the Brooks Ball Club for doing that. They're down a couple of runs. They lost last night. So they pretty much brought the infield in, which means you really, as a pitcher, you got to throw a middle of the plate in and hope for a strikeout. What you don't want to do is throw a breaking ball away that a batter can lunge at and loop it over a drawn-in infield. You got to pitch middle of the plate in.
He does that, that would have been 2 runs.
Churchin with his front foot open, looks at a knee buckling bender. A good breaking ball in for a strike. 0-1 here to Kyler Churchin. 3 runs on 3 hits today for the Prospects. No runs on 4 hits for the Brooks Bombers. Willie back on the middle infield, about midway on the corners. There he just about snared that one out of the catcher's mitt. Loops it foul down the left side, now to play. Strike 1 to Churchin. As you get that vista there of beautiful Remax Field, one of the nicest ballparks in Canada. They got a beauty in Winnipeg, and if you've ever seen it, CanWest Global, really nice ballpark. Of course, we got a classic old ballpark in Vancouver. It's been around forever. Nat Bailey Stadium. Pitches a breaking ball, and it's a strike over the outside corner. So here in the inning, the Prospects plate 2 runs. They do it on a 2-hit attack. No errors and 1 man left on base.
That was a very good pitch by Garcia, right on the corner. And
all right, let's go down to the field of play. Here's Tyler.
Hey guys, here with Jordan Blundell, manager of the Prospects. Hunter Boyd, he's really looking good. He got out of a jam in the 4th. What are you seeing from him today that's allowing him to be successful?
He's working quick. He's working down in the zone. He's had a couple of situations where he needed to make a big pitch, and he did that. So it's been a good start so far.
For your offense, you got some regulars maybe out of the lineup today, but your depth is really coming through. How nice is that to see?
Oh, it's great to see. We've got a lot of guys that can play the game, so we're confident in every one of them.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, man.
All right, now let's take a look at the standings on the National League, the East Division. The Philadelphia Phillies with a 2.5-game lead on the Atlanta Braves. The Mets are 5 games back. Washington Nationals are 8.5 out. And the Marlins from Florida, 13 games away. Got a real good battle in the Central Division. My old buddy Joe Madden, Chicago Cubs, who won the World Series a couple of years ago and ended the longest drought, I got to think, in pro sports history. When they last won the World Series was before the Wright brothers took off at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. That's a true story.
Yeah.
Airplane hadn't even flown yet.
Yeah.
And I knew Joe for years with the Angels. He was a roving hitting instructor. Absolutely positive guy. The players loved to play for Joe. Couldn't happen to a better guy. Cardinals are in there, too. They're just 2.5 games back. Pirates are 4 out, so you can just about cover 4 teams in the Central Division with the palm of your hand. And the Cincinnati Reds, they're not out of it either. They're 5 games back. That's probably the best division in Major League Baseball. There's a breaking pitch inside. Should be a ball and a strike to my count. Dodgers with an 8.5-game lead on the Colorado Rockies. Fastball runs outside. Padres, 8.5 out. Arizona Diamondbacks are 11 games back. The San Francisco Giants are 15 games back, playing out of that beautiful ballpark in the city by the bay. Strike on the inside corner from the right-hand pitcher, Hunter Boyd.
3-1 count.
And the pitch, and that's a 5-pitch walk issued to Dax Wandler. The center fielder, Chris Perez, will be the batter.
Just a little low.
Monday Night Baseball on the menu tomorrow night. The Okotoks Dogs are in for a makeup game. Gates open up at 6, 7:05 with the opening pitch. And then we've got the Medicine Hat Mavericks on Tuesday and Wednesday night. On the infield, Maskill and Ramirez, the double play Quinella. They shorten up to a double play depth. Pratt is wide of the bag and just back of the bag at third base. From the set position, it's a breaking ball strike, 0-1. Your vehicle ready for summer. Visit your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today for a full synthetic oil change. Get a $100 travel credit towards hotels, car rentals, theme parks, and a whole lot more. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving all summer long. He threw another breaking pitch, and the count is even at 1-1 strike. 3-0 ball game, and the Prospects lead. Perez playing in center field today. Boyd is ready to go from the set position, and it's a bouncing ball up the middle. No play for Maskill to his glove-handed side. So a walk and a base hit. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. And that is Danny Donnelly, the left fielder.
Right down the heart of the plate, and that's where he hit her.
Donnelly is 0 for 2 on the afternoon's play. He struck out, and he is ground out. And there he chased a breaking ball, strike one. On the infield, Pratt at third today, Walker at first, Maskill at short, Ramirez at second base, Churchin, Roundy, and Hunt left to right in the prospect outfield. And another curve ball from a straight overhand delivery. And it's fouled to the padding under the backstop, strike two.
Think about all the pitchers we see. There aren't too many who throw straight over the top.
It all depends, really, I guess, on your physique, because that is a very tough pitch. It's tough to.
It's hard on the body.
Hot in the arm. It's hard to hit. You get no plane on the ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Danny Donnelly. And the great Sandy Koufax, that's how he threw the ball. He was, what an amazing pitcher he was. But it put strains on his arm, and his career ended early. Now, if this was today, medical science, he'd probably still be pitching. There's a breaking ball, a runner's hold. It's swung on and it's missed. He got one away. 3 straight curveballs thrown by this big prospect right-hander. And there he chased the pitch. That's all right. Good pitches will make you do that.
And it started on the corner and dropped right off.
Carter Transen, the batter. Here in the inning, we had a leadoff base on ball issued to Wandler. Perez with a rolling single up the middle. That's where we sit with one away. Hunter Boyd eyeballs his man off second, comes to the plate, and a high hopper to the left side. Maskill on to Ramirez, makes the turn. Here's the throw to first. Not in time to turn two. We'll have runners at the corners. And McCoy Pierce will be the batter as you see the turn made by Ramirez. No mistake there. The runner just beat it out.
Just beat it.
And Pierce on a 1 for 2 afternoon. About 70 Fahrenheit today, which would make it about 20 degrees centigrade, I guess. Absolutely no wind and an overcast but not threatening sky. The ball that's going to produce a run, a little looper into short right field. Here comes that long throw to third. It's on one bounce, and it's there in time. It's right on the money. 3 outfield assists in 5 games. There for Travis Hunt. Get a look at that on that camera. That is just textbook. Not only is it a strong throw, but it's right there on a bounce, right over the bag. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty.
That's the thing that has impressed me the most about Travis Hunt. It's not just the strength of his arm, but it is his accuracy.
So there's a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man stranded. It's a 3-1 ball game heading to the home half of the 5th inning. And this is Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. Top of the order here in the home half of the 5th inning. And the center fielder, Tanner Roundy. He had a whole lot of love here today. He flied to left field in the 1st inning, bounced out his 2nd time along. Tyler Maskill and Travis Hunt. 1, 2, 3 batters in the prospect order today. And here comes the opening pitch. Just missed the outside block. 1 ball and no strike. Down and away, go to 2 balls and no strikes. Roundy's pitching line last night. He picked up his first victory of the year. A 5-inning distance, 2 earned runs, scattered 6 hits, struck out 3. Pitched ahead in the count all night, did not walk a batter. Coughed up a couple of runs in the 1st inning, and after that he was tougher than a nickel steak. Nobody got anything off him. There's a fastball down the dish for a strike. Wind up of the pitch, it's a foul tip of the batter's box.
Now, Tanner is a tall young man. He's 6'4", 185. That's a pretty long strike zone.
Out of Hendersonville, Nevada. Or Henderson, Nevada will make it, just outside of Las Vegas. And he draws the walk. Tyler Maskill, the batter. Reached base on an error and came around to score his first time along. Hitting .200 on the year, appearing in his 4th ball game of the season. This will be his 13th at bat. Got 2 runs, got a pair of hits, and has drawn a base on ball 3 times. Nick Garcia ready to go. Throws a fastball for a strike. Runner goes. There he is with the landing gear down. He's going to pull into second with a bag, and he'll go down to third on the throwing error. That's what you do, John. It's sending the runners like rolling the dice. This time he came up snake eyes. Here you see he's a headlong slide to the bag. And the ball eludes Wandler, the second baseman, on an attempted barehanded pick. He's up and going and pulls into third.
Now, Wandler made a major mistake you tell young fielders not to do. He took his eyes off the ball at the last second.
Error will be charged on the throw, so now you got nobody out and a man at third and a real good opportunity to play to run. If the batter, let's say Tyler Maskill, hits a double, that would make it an earned run. If it's a single, for the moment, it would be an unearned run. The ball strike counter not working on the scoreboard, which doesn't surprise me. They did do one thing. They fixed the clock. And that clock at top of the scoreboard was there when this park was built in '95, and it was like me. It was right twice a day. There's a high pop fly into short center. Chris Perez is under it. Tagging up and walking in to score is Tanner Roundy, and the Prospects with a 4-0 lead. That, for the moment, is an unearned run. And Travis Hunt will be the batter. Got hit by a pitch and picked up on the front end of a ground ball double play in the first inning. Bounced to third and retire the side in the third. Nick Garcia rocks on the rubber. Plants that left leg down, cranks the right arm up, and it's in there for a strike. 0-1 to Travis Hunt. Vargas up wide of third. Rest of the infield is drawn back. Outfield is fairly deep and pretty much straight away. The big ballpark in Edmonton, 420 to straightaway center. 340 to left, 320 to right.
It's an outfielder's ballpark and a pitcher's ballpark.
And here comes the pitch to Hunt, who made that beautiful throw to retire the side in the top of the 5th inning. Just a week into the season, he's already got 3 outfielder assists. People often ask me, why does the right fielder have to have the best arm? You say because of the long throw. And they'll say, well, the home plate is just as close for the left fielder as it is for the right fielder. That's not what we're talking about. It's the throw to third base.
That's right. And the outfielders very seldom make a throw to first.
I think I've seen it once.
Yeah.
Some guy didn't run very well. The ball was looped into right field. The right fielder caught it on a bounce through to first. Ground ball to third base, knocked down nicely by Vargas, kept the ball in front of him, throws to the bag, and the splits like a scissor by Tronkin, and he elevates himself into that throw. 5-3 on the putout, nicely done on both corners.
Third baseman did a good job keeping that ball in front of him, blocked it and had time to make the throw. Travis Hunt is not slow. He can move.
That'll bring up Nolan Walker here in the last half of the 5th inning. Prospects will score an unearned run this half inning on a leadoff walk to Tanner Roundy. Stole second, went to third on the throwing error, and came around to score on a fly ball up the middle. Garcia with a low breaking pitch, 1 ball and no strikes. Walker today batting out of the cleanup spot. And the 1-0 pitch. Change up, straight change. Swung on and missed. I think it might have been a palm ball.
He sure pulled a string on it, didn't he? Nolan was way out in front of it. Garcia's pitched well, Al.
Yeah, he's done a nice job today. He should be sitting in the dugout right now. The inning should be over, but it isn't. Our umpiring crew this afternoon calling the balls and strikes: John Oko, Andrew Higgins at first base, and Brandon Oberg is the arbitrator working at third. There's a fastball. The pitcher came out of his tuck, and that one was high and wide of the strike zone. Jake Geary, the designated hitter, watching on from the on-deck circle, and he's going to get a chance at an at-bat. Will Jake Geary, as this ball is sprayed up the middle. Nolan Walker shortened up his swing and lines a base hit into right center.
The ball was over the outside half of the plate. It was up a little bit, and Nolan Walker jumped on it for the single.
Geary batting .430, appearing in his 5th game today, the 17th at bat as we speak. 5 runs on 6 hits, including a pair of doubles. And he is the batter up. 2 gone in the inning. We're in the last half of the 5th. And the Prospects trying to improve their record.
Garcia's been
4-1.
Garcia's been trying to hold these base runners on, and he's done a pretty good job of it.
There's the pitch, and boy, he hit this one nice. He airmails that to deep left field. On the run back is Dandy Donnelly, and Donnelly is there to make the catch. Hit that one good, but right at somebody. So an unearned run comes in to score for the Prospects. They do it on a hit, an error, and a man left as we move along to the top half of the 6th inning. And you're listening to Sunday Afternoon Prospects Baseball here on ICU Video. Play underway here in the 6th inning, and Javier Ramirez slops the ball up the middle for a base hit. I said Javier Ramirez. That's Jake Scott. Didn't have a chance to turn the score sheet. So Jake Scott is aboard on a 1-for-3 afternoon. Spencer Rankin, the batter. He's had a good day, pair of hits. 4-1 ball game. The Prospects, of the 4 runs they've scored, 3 of them have been earned. They threw him a breaking pitch, a swing and a miss, strike one. It's been a money pitch for him today.
It has been. Turning it right off the table and getting excellent movement.
He's what we used to call a thumber. A guy that throws a lot of curveballs is a thumber. There's a pickoff throw, and it's a good one. Walker is there, leans into the throw, slaps down the tag. Jake Scott didn't have a real big lead either, but he is erased. 1-3 on the putout.
The quickness.
Yeah,
of
good off his back
pitches.
leg. Right here, see?
Boom.
Kaboom. That's a short lead. That's just a heifer step off the bag.
And he put it the only place he could have got him, right down on the bag. Good job by Nolan Walker.
So Hunter Boyd can abandon the set position, work out of the full windup. He toes the pitching slab right up on the first base side. Draws a beat on the target, cranks that right arm up and delivers. And that straight overhand delivery. Fastball down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch on the way. Looping line drive to the left side. Maskill fields the ball on 1 hop. Throws a strike to the bag, 2 away. And Albert Vargas will be the batter as you get a look at that on the replay. That was 1 bounce, backhanded it, sidearm to the base.
That was the breaking ball again. Get a lot of ground balls when you get that breaking down low.
Prospects now with some activity in the bullpen. They've got a right-hander up on the mound and starting to loosen up here in the top half of the 6th inning. Pitch is fouled away. And with a strike 1 count on Albert Vargas. One hour and 18 minutes into this ball game. We're here in the 6th inning. Boyd is ready to go. Here's the 0-1 delivery. And a base hit up the middle. Right in on the fist. Did a nice job of squaring that ball. Swings and he gets a base hit to center field. That's all right. You do that with 2 away all day. Spray the hits. Throw strikes. What he didn't want to do is put a runner aboard with a walk.
You know, Al, that's the key. The fielders will play for you. You get those strikes in there, they'll make plays. You're going to get the odd hit.
Ryan Kimbrough is the batter. Big strapping right-handed batsman up there, and he takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Back when I was a kid and then a teenager, one of my favorite pitchers in the big leagues came up with the Kansas City A's, the Oakland A's. A big free agent, went to the Yankees, was a tobacco farmer from Hereford, North Carolina named Catfish Hunter. And he used to give up some absolutely tape measure home runs. I mean some bombs. But guess what? There was nobody ever on base. He threw strikes. Kimbrough flares this ball foul. Travis Hunt gave it a nice chase. And about all he'll get for his efforts is a dirty uniform. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Kimbrough.
He did get a good jump on the ball, right over by the edge. It's a long run.
Now, I haven't been to a lot of the parks in the WNBL, but what you do have here, because this is a one-time AAA park, you get big foul territory here. Lots of room down the left and the right field foul lines. Big area behind home plate. That generally is to the aid of the defensive team. Ball that might be out of play in a smaller park, and you got a chance at it here. Vargas widens his lead off at first base, and the pitch is hit back towards the mound, just to the left of the mound. And Hunter Boyd is there to make the fielding play, and the toss on to first to set down the side. Good fielding play by the right-hand pitcher. No runs and a pair of hits, 2 men stranded. Home half of the 6th inning. Coming your way, Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. John, you were doing the math. You just relayed it to me. Through the opening 6 innings, 75 pitches thrown by Hunter Boyd. That works out to 12.5 pitches per inning. And 44 of those pitches are strikes. That's a real nice ratio as Javier Ramirez airs a fly ball out the center, and there's 1 gone.
Got the ball on the inside of the plate, gets underneath it, easy fly ball.
David Pratt today with a double. He pulled a double down the left field side in the 2nd inning. Got a run batted in on a fielder's choice. Stole a bag in the 4th. 1 gone. Nick Garcia goes to work. He throws the first pitch strike. And Jake McDonald also due up in the inning. 4-1 ball game. Prospects lead. Brought him half of the 6th inning today at Remax Field. There's a base hit. He just about stole that one right out of the catcher's mitt. And he pulls into first base with a base hit to right. Second knock of the afternoon for Davis Pratt. Got something he could handle, middle of the plate in. Base hit to right.
Got around on her real well, pulled her down. Isn't it interesting, Al, how some pitchers are real good inside hitters. They just love to hit the inside pitch, and others love to hit the outside pitch.
Jake McDonald this afternoon 0 for 2 with a run batted in. Double play depth in the middle infield. The outfield is straight away. And the pitch from Garcia is a breaking ball strike, 0-1. Bombers will have an off day tomorrow. It'll be a light schedule of games in the Western Canada Baseball League. There will be activity here with the Okotoks Dogs coming to town. They're on the diamond as we speak this afternoon with the Fort McMurray Giants. And I guess I'm told I got to see that park. It is a beauty at Shell Place in Fort McMurray. And good on them. I mean, that's a town that has generated a lot of money. They should have something nice, and they do. They have a nice ballpark adjacent to a place where, believe it or not, a couple of years ago, the Toronto Argonauts played a home game.
And interesting enough, that entire complex, when you look at it, from the curling rinks, the hockey rinks that they have there, the baseball diamond, and the football field, they would be absolutely marvelous if they were in Edmonton. They're just a real nice complex for sports.
Very likely we'll have a new pitcher when we move along to the top half of the 7th inning. But I'll tell you what, today, Hunter Boyd with an excellent 6-inning distance, surrendering 1 run. And he did it on 8 hits, scattered those hits. And he struck out 4 batters. All 4 of them were swinging third strikes. Here Garcia throws a breaking ball in and over for a call strike. 1 out and 1 on here in the last of 6. Rankin goes into his crouch, puts down the target. Garcia with the delivery was a hit and run play, and the ball slapped foul up the right side. It's been called forever a hit and run, but technically it's a run and hit. You run first and then you hopefully hit. What it is, it's a less than 2 away play. If there is 2 away, you're not trying to stay out of a double play, and it really is a run and hit.
And you're trying to hit behind that second baseman. He's got to cover the bag with a man coming down.
Well, you're trying to hit behind the runner.
Yeah, that's what you do. The second baseman has to get over.
Here's the pitch to McDonald. He got a fastball up in the wheelhouse and a nice swing, and he loops a base hit into left field, and the prospects set the table with men at first and second and 1 away. Right up in the wheelhouse, that pitch. And Kyler Charchin will be the batter.
Good compact swing on that by McDonald.
On our telecast crew today, our cameraman is Dave Foley. Alex Testowich handles the switching and the replays, the graphics by Kyle Mates. And Rob Zitlow is the producer, the executive producer, and the director. There's a breaking ball to the outside half of the plate. There's a call strike here to the left-hand batter, Churchin. Tanner Roundy on deck at the top of the order. Runners aboard. Lead runner is Davis Pratt. Jake McDonald takes his lead off at first. They're on the right-hand side of the infield, fully back about midway on the left side. Ground ball, it's through the hole, might score the run. There's the green light. Here comes Pratt. Rounds third on his way to the plate. The throw is a little late. And a run in to score as they send the runners and get rewarded with a run scored.
Ball out over the middle of the plate. Pulls it right through the hole.
And a run scoring single makes it a lead of 4, a 5-1 ball game.
Pratt was really moving on that. Jordan Blundell, the manager, he had him flying coming around that third base. And now you really see the difference in outfield throws, and the prospects got to be very thankful for Travis Hunt out in the right field. The accuracy of his throws, just deadly. And we have not seen that from other outfielders this year.
Well, the Bombers are heating up a fresh arm. We got a right-hander down in the bullpen. The run in the 5th inning, I originally scheduled that or scored it as an unearned run, but the base hit by Nolan Walker made that run earned. So Garcia surrenders a run on 3 straight base hits here in the 6th inning. He hasn't done a bad job. He's only got 1 run scored by his team. Number of innings, he had scoreless innings. He's thrown strikes.
He's mixed it up real well, kept the ball down.
And a fastball is there for a call strike, 0-1 on Tanner Roundy. 0 for 2 today with a run scored and a stolen base. And here comes the pitch to him. Took a cut at it. He got it on the fist. He pops it up back of the backstop and up onto the roof here at Remax Field. Strike 2. Roundy is just ever so slightly up on the bat. Just not enough to even call it a choke, but he's just a hair off the knob of the bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In a professional game in the long season, you'll see that late in the year. A batter might take a choke or might swing a lighter bat. Breaking pitch swung on, held by the catcher Rankin. And there's your second out of the inning.
Swing and strike. Very good pitch.
That is the second or third strikeout on the afternoon for Nick Garcia. And Tyler Maskill knocked in a run with a deep fly ball his last time up. And a breaking pitch is in for a strike. Garcia ready to go, throws a breaking ball, it's waved at. 2 strikes up on the batter. Maskill reached base on an error in the first inning, flied out in the third. Got a no time at bat and a run batted in his last time up with a sacrifice fly. And there he waved at a curveball. He went at that one with a scoop shovel. Nice pitch, and maybe the last pitch of the ball game for Nick Garcia. We'll see, but if it is, he'll end his ball game strong with a pair of strikeouts. And here in the inning, 1 run on 3 hits. No errors and 2 men stranded. As we head to Tyler Yaremchuk, take it away.
Hey guys, this game for the Prospects has been great. They've really breezed through and they tacked on a couple. On the flip side for the Brooks Bombers, it's been a very frustrating and quite frankly uncharacteristic afternoon for them. Coming into today, the Bombers have really lived up to their name. They have 22 more total bases than any other team in the league. They lead the league in home runs, and hits as well. And pitching has really been what's let them down throughout the season. They've given up 68 hits, which is 14 more than second place in the league. They've given up the most walks as well, and they've given up 49 earned runs coming in today. That's 40 more than the Prospects and 15 more than the second worst team in the league. And fielding today, we've seen it let them down as well. They've given up, they've made 3 errors already. Coming into today, they've only made 5 errors on the season and had the second best fielding percentage in the league. So for the Bombers, I mean, pitching has plagued them all season. It's definitely not been the problem here this afternoon. In fact, it might have been the best facet of their game here through 6 innings. On the flip side of that for the Prospects, they'll take it. They got some key players, some regulars out of the lineup on rest today, and they've still found a way to grind home 5 runs against the Bombers, and now they find themselves 9 outs away from improving to a perfect 4-0 here at RE/MAX Field.
All right, let's take a look at the pitching line today for the starting pitcher. Hunter Boyd, a 6-inning distance, 1 run, it's an earned run. He scattered 8 hits, struck out 4 batters. And he walked only 1 batter, and as usually is the case, the 1 batter you walk comes in to score. A leadoff walk, 60 to 70% of the time will come in to score. But that is a good pitching line today for Hunter Boyd. New pitcher of the ball game is Scott Gillespie. Gillespie with 1 inning of work on the year, and he picked up a victory with that. He is 1-0 on the year. Hasn't given up an earned run. That's what you want to see. An ERA is 0.00. So Scott Gillespie on to pitch.
From Sherwood Park, Alberta.
Dax Wandler, the batter, batting out of the 9 spot in the Brooks order. Here in the top half of the 7th inning, Scott Gillespie, big right-handed pitcher, works off the immediate first base side of the pitching slab. Doesn't appear like he throws out of a windup. Wandler today walked and scored and struck out. Gillespie ready. Here comes the pitch, high and outside of the target. 1 ball and no strikes. Chris Perez and Danny Donnelly up here for the Bombers. High and outside, ball 2. Again, Hunter Boyd's pitching line today. He has a chance at a victory. Can't get tagged with a loss. 6-inning distance. Threw around 80 pitches, 1 earned run, 8 hits. Struck out 4 batters, walked a batter, and threw 1 wild pitch. 3 straight pitches he's missed high and outside of the target. Ball 3. Gillespie working here on Dax Wandler. 14-3 Prospect victory last night. They got 14 runs and 14 hits. Stranded 6 base runners. And the automatic is in and over 3-1. Be fully back on the middle infield. Walker, the first baseman, back more towards the foul line. Pratt is about midway at third base. There's the 3-1 pitch is hopped up the middle. Ramirez gives chase, can't get to it. And the center fielder, Roundy, I don't know if he got a bad hop, but he just didn't keep the ball in front of him. He's going to get scored with an error. Wandler with a base hit up the middle, and he goes to second on the E8. For whatever reason, was not able to field that ball cleanly. Didn't get the tailgate down.
No, what happened? He was down, but the ball come up and hit him right in the chest. It was weird.
Yeah, I see that on the infield skin on a natural infield, but on the grass, not so much. Maybe it hit a sprinkler head.
Well, it could be. Could very well be, because that was a weird hop. Took him right up in the chest.
There's the pitch, and Scott Gillespie throws a fastball strike. Chris Perez today, 2 for 3. Back in the '61 World Series, the Pirates won that series, beat the Yankees. Mazeroski hit that home run off Ralph Terry, but he shouldn't have even come to the plate in that inning. And what happened was the batter hit a ground ball to the shortstop, Tony Kubek. Bill Verdon was the batter later on in managing the big leagues. Just a roller. He hit a pebble, hit Kubek right in the throat. He's done for the day. That kept the inning alive for Mazeroski, and he hit the home run. Now, he can't score an error on Kubek. It was a hop that took him right out of the ball game.
Well, that's right. And this is a major league field you're talking about that's supposed to be totally pristine. So we can find some very funny bounces in all ballparks.
Now, on this artificial turf here, you almost never get a bad hop. You might get an in-between hop, but not a bad hop. But on the natural grass, shale infields, really a bad hop is part of the game. You just get them. Not very often in the big leagues anymore. Those infields are like playing on a putting green. So here we go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gillespie rocks and delivers, and a hard hit ground ball past Pratt at third into left field. And that'll put men at first and third base here in the 7th inning. Hit that one pretty good.
The ball over the inside middle of the plate, and he got around on it really well.
Danny Donnelly looking for his first hit of the ball game. A collective 0 for 3 today. In fact, he's looking for his first hit of the series. He's 0 for 8, so I guess you could say he's due.
You would think. Prospects playing double play depth. They'll give up this run, take 2 if they can.
Gillespie misses high with the first pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. McDonald calls time, and he's on his way out to the mound.
And we have relievers warming up in the prospect dugout now.
I think you mean the bullpen.
The bullpen. What am I talking about? That would be something, wouldn't it? Been a long day.
Danny Donnelly is an Alberta product. He's out of Okotoks. Probably came through that Okotoks Baseball Academy. It's a beauty. There's a stolen base. McDonald had to box the pitch that was in the dirt. Perez was off and running with the pitch. He'll get credit with the bag. The Dogs now with 2 runners in scoring position, a right-hander and a lefty heating up in the Edmonton bullpen. As Gillespie has just had a little bit of problem with his command here today. 2 balls and no strikes. And the pitch, hit back up the middle. Goes off the left leg of Gillespie. That'll be a base hit, and that loads the bases. Nobody scores, but that's why they call that 60 feet 6 inches the gun barrel. That came out of there just like a loaded gun.
Did right off the lower left leg. But because it bounced to the third base side, it saved a run scoring.
Jordan Blundell makes his way out to the mound. Bases are loaded. And nobody out here in the inning. That will now bring the tying run to home plate. Right-hander continues to throw in the bullpen.
Now that was a very, very quick conversation. I would not be a bit surprised.
I think the conversation was more or less directed at the plate umpire and nobody else.
Well,
sometimes you'll do that. You'll go to the mound, wait for the plate umpire. You don't want to show them up, but you want to get your message across.
Well, there's
right now I can tell you this much, that Jordan Blondell is letting the umpire know which way the wind's blowing.
Well, they're not getting the calls. There's no question on those outside
earlier
corners.
They weren't, but no. Gillespie hasn't been in and around the strike zone a whole lot.
I think what they're doing, too, is giving that reliever a little more time to warm up, get out and talk.
Carter Tronson, the first baseman, 0 for 3 this afternoon. Bases are loaded. There's nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. Gillespie comes in high and hot with the opening pitch, 1 ball and no strikes. And he doesn't have much choice here but to throw strikes, as all bases are occupied. And the pitch. Strike at the knee on the outside corner. One ball, one strike. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball to third. There's Pratt. He touches third. On to first. And a 5-3 double play. Run comes in to score, but they'll trade a run for a ground ball double play anytime. Watchler comes in to score.
Also, again, on that, the third baseman was playing tighter to the bag than a little bit than normal, take away that extra base hit, and he was in the perfect position to get up, get the quick tag on third for 1 and over to first for 2.
Run comes in to score on the ground ball double play. No RBI awarded, and it's a 1 ball and no strike count to McCoy Pierce. That is just what the doctor ordered right there. Ground ball double play. Gillespie made a good pitch to get the ground ball. Now the infield can play fully back of this big strapping right-handed batter. McCoy Pierce checks his swing on a high inside fastball. Ball 2, strike none. On deck batter is the shortstop, Jake Scott. There he took a rip, and he really took a swing from the downs on that one, right from the heels on a breaking ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. McCoy with a good afternoon. He's 2 for 3 with a run batted in. Deep in the batter's box, front foot wide open. And Gillespie throws a pitch that McDonald cannot cleanly field. The runner didn't advance, so it's not a wild pitch, but it's ball 3. He really hasn't been comfortable up on the bump here today.
He hasn't been comfortable at all, Al. His mechanics are off. If this batter is walked, I believe the other reliever will be in right away.
All right, here's the 3-1 pitch. Ball hit in the air. He got a good rip at that pitch. Deep left field on the run back. Onto the warning track is Kyler Churchin. Ran out of real estate. Run will come in to score. Here's the throw to third. That's not in time. That'll be a 3-base hit. Here off Scott Gillespie by McCoy Pierce. Hit that one a ton. Churchin just ran out of real estate. He was right to the end of the warning track and up against the wood. We get a 5-3 ball game. That's a 3-base hit for McCoy Pierce.
Church might have had a play on it, but he was a little bit behind the ball. That ball was tagged.
Jake Scott is the batter up. Stretched by the big right-hander Gillespie. And the ball's popped up, and there will be a souvenir baseball for a patron in the seats down below. Strike one to the batter. Gillespie ready. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And the fastball misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gillespie attends Arkansas Monticello University. Area players from Sherwood Park. They'd like to finish this hitting off right here and start afresh in the 8th with another pitcher. Here's the ball out into left field, and that might do it. On the run into the gap is Kyler Churchin. Can't get to it. Ball skips by him. That'll be a double. And the Brooks Bombers make things interesting here in the 7th inning. That ball is hit pretty good.
It was. And got over a little bit inside of the plate. Pulled it real well.
That's a long run of that ball. He was down on his knees trying to make the snag. Couldn't do it. So a 2-base hit. They get a 5-4 ball again. That'll be the end of the line for Scott Gillespie today. As he works a 2/3 inning distance. Run totals yet to be determined. We'll have a right-hander coming in to pitch. This pitching change is brought to you by the experts in the oil changes, Jiffy Lube. And this is Prospects Baseball on ICU Video.
Zach Harrington from Magnolia, Arkansas, Texarkana.
New pitcher into the ball game is Zach Harrington at a 3-up, 3-down 9th inning. Last weekend against the Lethbridge Bulls. A little early that you probably want to bring your closer in, John, but pretty much didn't have a choice today.
They like to use him as a short reliever or a closer. They do have also Travis Berg as a closer, but this young man can do it all.
Harrington with a microscopic ERA is 0.00. So Gillespie this afternoon, his totals are incomplete. Works 2/3 of an inning. Gives up 5 hits. No walks or no strikeouts. Run totals have yet to be determined. So Zach Harrington into this ball game here in the 7th inning. 5 ball games underway today in the Western Canada Baseball League. Fort McMurray's at Okotoks, Regina at Melville. Yorkton Cardinals are in Moose Jaw. And Weyburn at Swift Current here today. Tomorrow night, the Okotoks Ball Club will be in town for a 7:05 contest. Tuesday and Wednesday, it'll be the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Spencer Rankin will be the batter up. And Zach Harrington in to pitch. Harrington looks back, looks in, throws a fastball that's high, 1 ball and no strikes. Out of Magnolia, Arkansas. Out of Texas A&M, Texarkana. There, the bottom fell right out of that sinking fastball. A swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike.
2 different speeds on those first 2 pitches. This is what drives batters crazy.
And the pitch, ball is nailed out into right field. That's going to score a run, tie this ball game up. No play for Travis Hunt on the wall. And pulling into scoring position is Spencer Rankin with a double. And the Bombers away to the races here in the last of 7. A 2-base hit and a run batted in.
Ball out over the heart of the plate, a little bit to the outside, and he just went with it, put it in the gap.
Albert Vargas is the batter up. He hit that one good to the opposite field, into the power alley, into the gap. Hunt knew he was going to catch that ball. He just turned tail and tried to chase it down, so that's a double. For Spencer Rankin. Vargas, the 8th batter up here in the Bombers' 7th inning. And the pitch. Foul back upstairs and out of play. They've got a 6-5 up on the scoreboard. I've got it as a 5-5 ball game. There's the fastball that misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Things were looking pretty good. You had a ground ball double play. 1 out to get, holding on to a lead, but tipped the sombrero to the Brooks Bomber batters that come out here and gotten into good hitting counts, found pitches they could drive, and they've done that.
They have been hitting the ball well, hitting the ball in the gap. Getting those doubles really makes a difference in this big ballpark. Long throws.
Count is full with 2 away. Vargas today drew a base on ball in the 2nd inning. He got as far as 2nd. Hit into a forced play in the 4th. Stroked a base hit up the middle. And he did that in the 5th inning. Harrington ready. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fly ball to left field. That should get it done. Drifting in is Kyler Churchin, and he's there to make the catch. And we'll retire the side. We've got a ball game going to the home half of 7th. Well, Brooks right-hander Nick Garcia with a new lease on life. His team has won out and got him 5 runs. He's now pitching in a 1-run lead here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Garcia this afternoon with 4 strikeouts on the day. 5 runs scored. They're all earned runs. And he scattered 7 hits. Travis Hunt, the leadoff batter here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Ball game just under the 2-hour mark. 1 hour and 54 minutes. It's straight up 4 o'clock Mountain Time as we speak. And here's the pitch. A strike on the inside corner. A fastball. Strike 1 to the batter, Travis Hunt. Nolan Walker and Jake Geary, barring any pinch hitters. The batters due up here in the last half of the 7th inning. The windup by Garcia and the pitch on the way. Ground ball off the glove of Garcia. Like a 3-cushion billiard shot. And it goes off the glove and bounces straight up the middle for an infield single. And Nolan Walker will be the batter up. Going into play today, the Okotoks Dogs 3-0 record. Half game up on the Prospects at 3-1. Medicine Hat Mavericks 2-1. Lethbridge Bulls have put a couple of wins up onto the board after an 0-2 start. They're 2-3. Fort McMurray Giants are 1 win, 3 losses. They'll be playing today at Siemens Stadium in Okotoks. And the Bombers trying to win their 2nd ball game of the year. And they have fought their way back with a big 7th inning and taken a 1-run lead. There's a breaking pitch, swing and a miss. Tying run is aboard on that line drive back up the middle. Off the glove of Nick Garcia. Bombers now with a right-hander loose and ready to go in the bullpen. Walker today with a 2-for-3 afternoon. He bounced into a double play in the 1st inning. pulled a double to the opposite field, to left field, and came around to score. And he stroked a single in the right field, and the balk is going to get called on Nick Garcia. He did that off his back leg. Well, didn't see much hesitation when the ball in hand in the glove.
It didn't seem like it did it.
Tying run in scoring position. Here's the pitch, and that's inside. Rankin, the big catcher, didn't get it cleanly, but he kept the ball out in front of him. Garcia working against the prospects the third time through the order. In fact, this is the fourth time through the order. He's done a pretty nice job. Out of a 1-1 strike count, here comes the pitch. Foul to the backstop, strike 2. Ground ball to the right now, John. That's what the doctor ordered. Get your man down to third with less than 2 away.
It sure would be good if he could pull it.
Garcia strides home the pitch. Fastball. He swung a little late on it, got under it, lifted it foul down the left side, now to play. Real nice crowd in here today. I think we're about 2,500. That may be a bit optimistic, but not far off that mark. And for the first time this afternoon, the sun has poked its way through the high clouds here at Remax Field. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. That ball had a lot of break on it, broke away from the left-handed batter. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Nick Garcia. A lot of movement on that pitch. Late life, they call it. And there's Jake Geary.
Just a really nice tailed away, drop down. That's a very, very good pitch. I believe they will walk Jake Geary on this. And you can see them talking about it.
That's Kyle McKinnon, the field manager. Now, if he's going to walk Jay Geary, he doesn't have to go to the umpire and ask permission, so I'm not sure what they're talking about.
I think the umpire and the manager are talking about that balk, I would suspect.
I mean, from what I saw, I didn't see a balk, but they're a lot closer to it than I am.
It might be the score also, Al. There is seems to be some confusion. I know you have it as 5-5. We talked about that previously. I believe our scorer has it as 6-5, but I'm not sure it is.
Well, I've got in my score sheet 4 runs scored.
There you go. See, I think it goes back to that 5th inning where they gave them 2 runs and we had them down at 1 run.
Yeah, now the 5th inning, it was Wandler with a leadoff walk and a base hit up the middle, a force out at second, a strikeout, and then a run scoring single.
I suspect they're going to be calling up the score here right away.
We're going to have a little delay here. I think it's a good time we take a break here on our ball game this afternoon when we find out exactly what the score is. Is your vehicle ready for summer? Visit your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today for a full synthetic oil change. Get a $100 travel credit towards hotels, car rentals, and more. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving all summer long. Let's let the umpires get this thing figured out. All right, they've corrected the score, and that's what it should be. It's a 5-5 ball game, so the potential go-ahead run is in scoring position. As I look through that 7th inning, there were 4 runs scored, not 5. That was the inning in the 7th where the Berks Bombers sent 8 batters to the plate. Jake Geary is going to draw the intentional pass. That'll bring up Javier Ramirez. You were right. Pretty good day to walk Jake Geary. He won't be the lead runner. He's the tailing runner. They've got one gone in the inning. Javier Ramirez, the batter, up. He has today been hit by a pitch, fly to center, been called out on strikes. Potential go-ahead run in scoring position. And Garcia reared back and overthrew that fastball that rises high of the strike zone. 1 ball and no strikes on Javier Ramirez. Okotoks Dogs here tomorrow night for a 7:05 contest. Medicine Hat Mavericks are here on Tuesday and Wednesday. Big week here for the prospects in the Western Canada Baseball League. Pitching lines today for the prospects. A no decision this afternoon for Hunter Boyd. 6-inning distance, 1 earned run. Scott Gillespie, 2/3 of an inning. 5 hits. He coughs up 4 runs. I believe they're all earned runs. And the pitch is a breaking ball down and away.
Brooks Bombers now have a reliever warming up.
From the stretch, here comes the pitch. Garcia down and away. Probably running out of gas. I'm not sure how many pitches he's throwing today, but he'd be barreling in on 100.
Has to be. To get through 8 innings is pretty exceptional today.
Nolan Walker, the lone out in the inning. He struck out on a breaking ball. The 5th strikeout on the day by Nick Garcia. The runners aboard. Travis Hunt takes his lead at second. Jake Geary with a big lead off at first. The runners go. Ball's hit in the air into short right field. Drifting in towards the foul chuck. Kimbrough, the right fielder, makes the grab. Cocks his arm, throws to third, and the runners hold. There's 2 away. And Davis Pratt, the third baseman, will be the batter.
And that ball was out over the plate, got underneath it.
That's going to do it here today for Nick Garcia, as they will go to the relief pen for a fresh arm. Get a road trip ready for a fully synthetic Pennzoil oil change at Jiffy Lube. Get a $1 travel credit. Good for car rentals, hotels, theme parks, and more. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving all summer long. Let's take a time out. And you're listening and viewing Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. New pitcher in the ballgame for the Brooks Bombers is Sean Rydell. He's out of Kingswood, Texas. His collegiate assignment at Northwest Oklahoma State. Rydell appearing in his second ball game. This will be his second inning. Pair of strikeouts. Hasn't given up an earned run on the year for the Bombers. And the incomplete totals for Nick Garcia. 6.2 innings today. Run totals yet to be determined. 8 hits. 5 strikeouts, 1 hit batsman, 3 base on balls. Davis Pratt is the batter. It is a 5-5 ball game. So the go-ahead run is in scoring position. Sean Rydell delivers a sinker ball, and it's in there for a strike. Pratt today with a pretty good afternoon. He got a double to the opposite field. He pulled a single in the right field, scored, got an RBI, and he's also got a bag. He's got a stolen base. Kind of like the bench they've got with this Prospect Ball Club. It's early in the year. Probably down a court on the bench. That ball player got hurt last night. Got hit with a fastball just below the knee on his right leg. There's the strike 1 pitch. Ball that sunk off the edge. It's a swing and a miss. Strike 2 to the batter.
This pitcher has very good movement on that fastball. He's popping it.
Travis Hunt led the inning off with a ball that was skipped back to the mound off the pitcher's leg for an infield hit. Went to second on a balk. But he sits there now with 2 gone in the inning. There's a slow ground ball pulled to the right side. Trank in, the first baseman, over to grab it, and he'll make the unassisted put out to retire the side. So here in the last of 7, no runs, 1 hit. No errors and 2 men left on base. Now they've decided today a 5-5 ball game as we head to the top of the 8th inning. This is Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. Defensive change for the Prospects here in the 8th inning. Takahashi now in the ball game and playing at second base. Ryan Kinbrough is the batter. Kinbrough with a foul tip, strike one here against Zach Harrington. Final totals for the relief pitcher Gillespie, 2/3 of an inning, 4 earned runs on 5 hits, no strikeouts, no walks. 5-5 ball game here in the 8th. The ball raised out into right field. It's a little par 3. Travis Hunt there to make an easy catch, and there's one away.
Gets the ball in the outside corner and gets him to pop up. Nice easy fly for Travis Hunt.
Today, Dax Wandler with a walk and a run scored. He slapped the base hit up the middle, went to second on a fielding error, came around to score, and he struck out. He takes a rip at a high and wide fastball, fouls it to the backstop. He got strike one in the count. Brooks' bullpen is unoccupied. The Prospects with a right-hander up and limbering down the left field foul line. And here's the pitch on the way. Wandler hits it back up the middle. It's knocked down at the mound. Harrington gathers it in, throws to the base. That was not an easy play, but he gets it done on this ground ball. He knocks it down. That's the main thing.
That is. He kept it in front of him. He was able to move to the ball and get it there in time, but it was close.
Chris Perez will be the batter. Good day today for him out of the leadoff spot. He's gone 3 for 4. Base hit the left field, base hit up the middle, and a line drive base hit the center field. 2 gone in the inning. Harrington is ready to go. Strides home and delivers. Throws an opening pitch strike. 1,461, the assembled multitude here today at Remax Field. Very nice Sunday afternoon. Back at it tomorrow night with the Dogs in town for a 7:05 contest. Fly ball to left field. Kyle Churchin there to grab it. And then that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Harrington. So here you got no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Into the bottom half of the 8th inning in a 5-5 ball game, and you're listening and viewing Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. 5-5 ball game here in the last half of the 8th inning. And the 8th batter in the order, Jake McDonald, to lead things off. 1 for 3 today with a run batted in. Final totals for the Brooks starter, Nick Garcia, 6 2/3 inning distance. 5 runs earned, 8 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 base on balls, hit 1 batter. Did a pretty good job today keeping his club in the ball game. And he'll leave with a no decision, and I'm glad he gets that. He didn't have a chance to win, but at least he won't get a loss. Sean Rydell, this big right-handed pitcher, on to work. Pitch is a fastball low and inside. It's hit in the air to Brian Kinbrew in right field. 1 pitch and 1 away.
Down over the plate, gets underneath it. Easy fly ball to the right fielder.
And Kyler Churchin, the batter. Oh, we'll have a pinch hitter, Pierce Blahoyak. And I would imagine he will just line up in left field when we start the 9th inning of play. So Blahoyak is the batter. Hitting .290 on the season. Pitch to him, and he hits the ball up the middle. It's a looping line drive. The shortstop, Jake Scott, tried to make the pick. It's under his glove for an infield hit.
It's good wood on the ball, and that's a tough play.
Yeah, that's a tough chance. You can't score without an error. That's a hit.
Oh, that is tough.
So a pinch hit single for Pierce Blahoyak. Tanner Roundy is the batter. Walked, stole a base, came in to score in the 5th inning. Got a ground ball out, a fly ball out, and a strikeout. Sean Rydell delivers. And the ball raised out into right field, and it hangs up there. Drifting back is Kimbrough. And Brian is there to make the catch, 2 away.
And again, the pitcher's doing a nice job keeping that ball down and out. Gets underneath it, lazy fly ball to right field.
And Takahashi will be the batter. Little switch hitter. He lines up, stands into the port side of the plate. And here comes the pitch to him. Runner goes. Here's the throw. It's on one hop. Slap tag down. Ball was fielded by Jake Scott on one bounce, but he couldn't hold it cleanly. And with the landing gear down, that's a headlong slide to the bag and a big stolen base.
A very good stolen
Potentially
base.
a big stolen base.
Could be. Base hit here should score a run.
Takahashi got his first hit of the season last night. He hit pretty good, too. He was batting right-handed, and he lined a base hit up the middle. So the potential go-ahead run in scoring position. 0-1 is the count. This big right-handed pitcher checks his runner, strides home. Takahashi with more of a hack than a swing, fouls it back, and he is down 0-2. You've asked me several times, do you think there might be a bunt play coming? Now, with 2 strikes up, you almost never bunt. But the third baseman's drifting back. Takahashi hasn't had a lot of luck swinging at the ball. Who knows? No, he's going to swing away if he swings at all, and pitches a fastball high and wide of the outside corner. Bombers now heating up a left-hander. Prospects with a right-hand pitcher in the bullpen. But it was at one time a 4-run lead, a 5-1 ball game is now a 5-5 game. Bombers have put the ball into play today. They've got 14 hits on the afternoon. And there Rydell misses high and outside. Now, if he is batting in the spot occupied by Maskill, that would mean we'll have a new shortstop. And when we go to the 9th inning, there's the 2-2 delivery and the pitch down and away.
I imagine they'll just move Ramirez over to the short, and Takahashi will play second.
This is not what Ryball wanted. He was ahead 0-2, and now he finds himself 3-2. Takahashi from Hiroshima, Japan. And here's the 3-2 serve, and that's going to miss high and outside for ball 4. Travis Hunt today was hit by a pitch in the first inning, picked up on the front end of a ground ball double play. Twice bounced out to third base, reached base on an infield hit. Went to second on a balk in the 7th inning and got no further. Sean Rydell, the pitcher, in relief of Nick Garcia. Went 6 2/3 innings today.
And he pitched well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Here's the pitch by Rydell. And the batter up there, Travis Hunt, swung from the heels. He took a big cut at that pitch. Strike 1. Out of Moreno Valley, California, Benedictine University. There's a breaking ball, big cut at it, 0-2. I was looking in the dugout today. There was no batting practice today. There was a clinic. I didn't see one ash bat, all Maplewood.
Isn't that interesting, huh?
Well, there's no doubt about it. It's hard wood. The guy that made that popular was Barry Bonds, a bat that was manufactured in Canada, in Toronto. Got a bat manufacturer in Red Deer. They produce a nice product. It's called the Prairie Stick Bat Company. Runner breaks for third base. It's a call strike, so that doesn't matter. That's going to do it. here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Let's go down to Tyler Yaremchuk.
Hey guys, I'm about to be joined down here at the dugout by Jackson Bando. He's the starter for the game tomorrow against the Okotoks Dogs, and he's getting set to make his debut with the team as well. Jackson with me now in front of the dugout. You haven't played yet this year. Just how exciting is it for you just waiting for tomorrow and a chance to put on the Prospects jersey and take the mound?
I'm really excited. You know, I've been watching these guys for about a week now. It's some quality baseball, so I'm excited to contribute.
You're going to be taking on Okotoks, a team you guys just played on Friday as well. Is that a bit of an advantage for you? You watched them up close, and maybe you got a bit of a scouting report on them?
Yeah, I gotta take a look at the hitters. You know, they think they put up 5 runs on us. You know, so they're pretty good. You know, I'll keep the ball down and see what I can do.
For those who haven't watched you pitch before, can you give us a quick scouting report?
Yeah, so I'd say I like to go with the fastball. I go 2-seam sinker fastball, and I like to go to my 12-6 curveball too. And then I'm working on a little slider changeup, you know, so see what we can do.
Thanks and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys, and hopefully you'll get a chance to call a Prospects walk-off win here as we head towards the top of the 9th.
That would be good, Tyler. Zach Carrington gets ready for the 9th inning. They've been warming up Trevor Berg in the bullpen. He's normally a closer. And if Zach gets in any trouble, Trevor Berg will probably be in the game.
Again, the defensive changes. Ramirez is the shortstop as we move along here to the 9th inning. Little Takahashi at second base. Pratt is at third, as he has been all game. Walker, the first baseman. Jake McDonald behind the dish, and he catches a running fastball for a strike here on Danny Donnelly. 5-5 ball game. Top half of the 9th inning. Ball game about 2 hours and 25 minutes old. And with a short swing, there's a line drive base hit to center field. And Carter Tronson, the first baseman, will be the batter.
And the ball out over the just outside the middle part of the plate. Nice easy swing, base hit.
Carter Tronson this afternoon, not a lot of luck. He's 0 for 4. Fly ball to center in the first inning. Ground ball to the shortstop in the third. He reached base in the fielder's choice in the fifth. Bounced to third his last time through. So an 0 for 4 day. Double play depth in the infield. The ball is hit in the air to center field. Hit about 380 feet up the middle in reverse gear. Tanner Roundy is there to make the catch. One out here in the 9th. McCoy Pierce will be the batter.
And that ball was just over the outside.
You got to hit it twice to get it out up the middle. You just do.
It's a long way to go there.
Well, come to Jiffy Lube today for a Pennzoil full synthetic oil change. No appointment necessary. Warranty approved. You get air mile rewards and a $100 travel credit. Good for theme parks, hotels, what have you. Details at jiffylubeservice.ca. Pitch is in and over for a strike. 1 out, 1 on here in the top of the 9th inning. As Zach Harrington goes to work on the Brooks cleanup batter, big strapping hitter. Right-handed batsman deep in the box, front foot is open. Here's the stretch by Harrington and the pitch. There, he just might have overthrown the fastball a little bit. Rises out of the strike zone, 1-1. And the Prospects with 2 right-handers up and throwing in the bullpen. The Brooks bullpen is vacant as we speak. Crowd today of 1,461 at the ballpark. And the pitch is foul back. You know, the Prospects and Woodbat Summer League Baseball outdraw a lot of short season A clubs in the professional game.
It is interesting, isn't it? You wonder if it's the ballpark, things that go on
the park,
here.
It's a big city.
Yeah.
And a lot of your short season clubs like Great Falls, Montana, well, that's not very big. And here comes the 1-2 delivery. Ball hit in the air into the left field gap, drifting in. Appears like he's going to draw a beat on this. This is Kyle Churchin, makes the catch, and you got 2 away. And Jake Scott will be the batter.
Got under it.
Hunter Boyd today, a 6-inning distance as the starter, pitched well. 1 earned run, 8 hits, struck out 4 batters, walked 1. He threw 1 wild pitch, and he gets himself a no decision today and whittle down his earned run average a little bit. Prospects will draw the infield fully back. Pratt is a couple of feet off the foul line and playing deep at third base. So they'll pretty much give you a base hit to left field. They don't want the double down the line.
That's the key. Extra base hits here. Dangerous, could score a run. Base hit will probably only move the runner to second base.
Pitch misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Harrington ready. Here comes the pitch. Gets the ball up in the air. It's a high, lazy pop fly, short right center field. Tanner Roundy is there to make the grab. Nicely done here by Zach Harrington.
All 3 outs, lazy fly balls. Excellent job of pitching.
So no runs on a hit, no errors, a man stranded. Home half of the 9th inning coming up in a 5-5 ball game. Good one here today. And this is Edmonton Prospects Baseball and ICU Video. Middle part of the order due up here in the bottom half of the 9th inning as the Prospects try to end this 5-all deadlock. Nolan Walker will lead it off, the cleanup batter. He's got a 2-for-4 afternoon going and a run scored. Jake Geary and Javier Ramirez due up here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Against Sean Rydell, big, tall, right-handed pitcher.
Has a pretty good fastball. Doesn't throw much change. Just likes to throw the heat.
Rydell is ready to go. The half inning is underway, and it's a fastball on the outside corner. Strike 1 to Nolan Walker. Infield is back and fanned apart. The outfield is straight away. The Bombers now with a left-hander up and going in the bullpen. Here's the pitch, and it's a lazy ground ball to the shortstop, Jake Scott. Here's the throw, and it's in time. 6-3 on the putout. That was a pretty good pitch by Rydell. He tied his batter up with a fastball right around the label.
It's a very tough thing to even get contact on the ball. Very good pitch.
Jake Geary 1 for 3 today with a pair of runs scored. Rydell is ready to go. Strides with that left leg. He delivers a breaking pitch, and it's a called strike. It's 0-1. John Oko today, the ball strike umpire. Andrew Higgins at first base. Brandon Oberg, the umpire, working at third. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball down the dish, right about the knee. I'll make that a 0-2 count. And the 0-2 delivery. Very wasted one, high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Elsewhere today in the Western Canada Baseball League, that one might be over. It's at Okotoks. Fort McMurray Giants are there. John is at Melville, Yorkton at Moose Jaw, and the Weyburn Ball Club in Swift Current. There's the 1-2 pitch on the fists, fouled at third base towards the Edmonton dugout.
Jake Geary has showed us over the last little while that he likes that inside pitch.
And here comes the 1-2 delivery. There it was an off-speed pitch, got out in front of it, got a piece of it. Not a whole lot more than a varnish in the bat.
Got enough to keep alive. That's the important thing.
Prospects got a run in the second inning. They got 2 more in the fourth. Single run in the 5th inning. And what has turned out to be a fairly big run. They got 1 more in the 6th. That's the way we sit at a 5-5 deadlock. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. Change up. Got way out in front of it. Hit it a ton Fouled off down the left field line and into the bleacher seats. No wind today. Shirt sleeve temperatures up around 70 Fahrenheit, somewhere around 27 degrees centigrade. Weather looks great for the rest of the homestand. Okotoks tomorrow night. Medicine Hat in here Tuesday and Wednesday. Rydell is on the way, and the ball is fouled away. He's thrown a lot of pitches inside, changed speeds. Been a good matchup right here between a pretty good pitcher and a real good hitter.
It really has been. 8 pitches thrown in this at bat, and only one that's a ball.
Rydell came in with a potential winning run at second base. In the 7th inning, he had 2 away, but he got a good out. He got a ground ball out to first base and got out of the inning. And the 1-2 pitch, he just got under it. Hits it pretty good, but it's more in the air than it is on the line. And the center fielder, Chris Perez, gallops on into the alley to make the catch, 2 away.
Got under the ball a little too much. That was a very good at bat for Gary, but then also a well pitched at bat for Rydell.
So Javier Ramirez on an 0-for-3 afternoon. 2 out and the base is empty here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. We're not far away from having the first extra inning ball game of the season. The late breaking slider swung on, it's missed, strike 1. Rydell has retired the last 3 batters that he's faced. Strides home, cranks the right arm up and delivers. And that's off target, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rydell is ready, here's the pitch. There he pulled the string on a little bit and he missed high and inside, ball 2, strike 1. Bombers, as we mentioned earlier on, playing a real little bandbox of a park, 370 feet up the middle. Probably not a whole lot down the lines. And a strike at the inside corner. 2-2.
It's a good fastball. Rydell's got seems to have very good location with his pitches, Al.
And the 2-2 delivery. Ramirez checks the swing and a pitch under his chin. Sean Rydell, perhaps 1 pitch away from putting the prospects to bed here in the 9th inning. That's not the pitch, it's a fastball upstairs, ball 4. So now you get a little bit of speed on the base tracks. And Davis Pratt is the batter. That was swung just about as good a pull as anybody in the order today, in that he is 2 for 4 with a stolen base and a run batted in.
And that was a very good at bat for Javier Ramirez. And he worked the count right through, drew the walk.
Rydell is ready. Here comes the pitch. And his belt high and pretty much down the middle, strike 1. A 14-3 victory for the Prospects last night. And it was a rough night on the pitching for the Brooks Bombers. Far better today, way better. Runner goes and that ball shot out into the gap. Ramirez is at second. He's on his way to third. The ball bounces by Donnelly, and this ball game is over. And there you're going to have it, a base hit by Davis Pratt. And the ball that bounces over the head of Danny Donnelly in left field. And the Prospects end this one in grand finale today, grand fashion. As Javier Ramirez, he was off and running with the pitch. He got a good jump. And an RBI double for Davis Pratt, John, and the Prospects win it in fine fashion here in the 9th inning, 6-5. Here you're going to see it. That ball is hit out into the left field gap with a little something on it. Danny Donnelly comes in. Maybe he just lost sight of it. I'm not sure, but it bounces over his shoulder.
It bounced right over his shoulder, Al. Again, a weird bounce. But Ramirez was flying.
He got a real nice jump right from the time the pitcher comes set and went to the plate. So the Prospects win this one here today, 6-5, as they get their 6th and final run with 2 out in the 9th inning. And they do it on 11 hits. They commit an error. And they strand none. We'll be back with the final totals, but right now let's head down to the field to play, and Tyler, you're on check. No, he's not ready to go. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll do our final totals here this afternoon at Remax Field. The Prospects win it 6-5 today, and this is Prospects Baseball on ICU Video.
So what's that feeling like coming through in the bottom of the 9th?
I mean, it's a great feeling. Swing wasn't the best yesterday, but kind of came through today. So, yeah, I kind of got a little lucky there at the end, but yeah, it was good.
It seems like every single game there's a different hero coming through for this Prospects team. What's the mood in that room like right now? Because it's been a great start to the season.
Yeah, everyone's just really tight for being together for only 2 weeks, I think. So, I mean, it's a great atmosphere. Everyone's getting along. There's no drama or anything, so it's great, yeah.
It's a bit of a grind here. You guys have a lot of games in a row, and you guys got some travel mixed in there as well. What's that like, and do you kind of pace yourself a little bit, and are you excited for that? You know, I think it's like a 6-game and 6-day stretch.
Yeah, you know, it's a big grind. I mean, playing pretty much every day, but I love it here because it's a lot more laid back than college. You just kind of get to do your thing, focus on you, and do what you think helps you and will get you ready for the game. So, I mean, yeah, it's a grind, but I love it, and yeah.
Guys, Davis Pratt delivers for the Prospects as they improve to 4-0 here at Remax Field. Back up to the booth.
All right, thank you very much. Here are the final totals in the ball game today. 1,461 to watch it, 2 hours and 39 minutes to play it. Zach Harrington picks up the victory, and he was nails this afternoon. The final 2 1/3 innings that he pitched, a nice pitching line, allowed no runs. He scattered 1 hit, 1 base on ball to pick up the victory. He go to 1-0. 5 runs, 12 hits, 4 errors, 9 left on base for the Bombers. 6 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, 9 left on base. Sean Rydell will take the loss. And John, what it came down to, he had 2 away, bases empty. He walked the batter, and that was Ramirez. He went running with the pitch. Davis Pratt put the ball into play. The ball bounced somehow. We'll get a look at it, but it found a way on the grass. I guess the grass must be awful hard because it bounced over the shoulder of Danny Donnelly. You really can't score an error on that. That's a 2-base hit.
It's a 2-base hit, and those things happen in the field.
So there you go. That's a nice win for the Prospects. And with that victory today, they'll improve to 4 victories and 1 loss. That could very well rule the roost. They could be atop the division, depending on what happened today of the Okotoks Dogs in their ball game against the Fort McMurray Giants. Bombers gave it all they had today, John, but it's an L, and they fall to 1-5.
That's right. I felt that Nick Garcia pitched a very good game for them. They stuck in, kept sticking in, and then they tied it up. And we go into the bottom of the 9th, 2 out. And like you said many times, you walk that batter, and there's a very good possibility he's going to come around. And it worked out well for the Prospects.
There you have it. Goes in the books as a 6-5 victory for the Prospects today. In front of just under 1,500 fans at Remax Field. That'll do it for our telecast this afternoon on ICU Video. Back tomorrow night about 10 minutes to 7 o'clock to get things going as the Prospects host the Okotoks Dogs. Have a very pleasant, safe, and sunny Sunday afternoon, and so long from Remax Field.